Uncle Yuan, you are finally here. If you don't come again, I will be beaten to death. Qin Feng was incoherent with excitement. When Yuan Tiangang saw Qin Feng being beaten like this, his expression sank instantly. As the core figure of the Jinling City Martial Arts Alliance, he naturally doesn't need to do such a thing of leading people to the police. But in the morning, Qin Feng called him and asked him to do a little favor. Qin Feng is not only the young master of the Qin family, but his mother is also his cousin. So in relation to Qin Feng is his cousin. Facing his cousin's request for help, he immediately agreed. Unexpectedly, as soon as he arrived at the scene, he saw his cousin being beaten like this and kneeling on the ground. Xiaofeng, stand up and talk first, Yuan Tiangang said with a gloomy face. After all, his character is more stable, and he didn't directly go into a brainless rage. The most important is, the person playing Xiaofeng is facing away from him at this moment. Looking at the back of the other party, he always felt a little familiar, so he decided to ask clearly before talking. When Qin Feng heard what his cousin said, he immediately wanted to get up. But when he saw Lin Feng's gaze, his heart trembled again, and he cried and said, Uncle Yuan, I dare not. With Uncle Yuan here, what are you afraid of? Yuan Tiangang said that he hated iron for being weak. Qin Feng swallowed, glanced at his cousin, and then at Lin Feng. I just feel weak in my legs and feet. Obviously, Lin Feng standing in front of him put too much pressure on him. With me here, I don't know what you are afraid of. Are your knees so soft? Yuan Tiangang shook his head in disappointment. The patriarch of the Qin family, Qin Wudao, has 3 women in total. There are 2 boys and 2 girls. The other 3 are all talented in martial arts and have a calm mind. They are the absolute pride of heaven. Only his cousin, so stupid. I know how to eat, drink, and have fun all day long, whether it's wine or sex. Others go to college to learn knowledge, but he said college life is good. He also plausibly said that the purpose of going to college is to pick up girls. It's a typical mud that can't support the wall. Yuan Tiangang knew Qin Feng's character. He stopped persuading, but turned his gaze to Lin Feng's back and said coldly, Who is your excellency? You dare to bully my nephew. Do you want to give me an explanation? Lin Feng frowned, hating this feeling very much. Come wave after wave. Trouble continues. Can a family be neat and tidy? Do you want to confess? Lin Feng turned back and said coldly, It's you. When Yuan Tiangang saw Lin Feng's face, his complexion changed drastically. How could it be him? Last night, they are the core figures of the Martial Arts Alliance, and they went to encircle and suppress the bloody handwritten together with the deputy leader. As a result, a super strong man suspected of being in the sky came out halfway. That day's strong man didn't move much. The deputy leader in the middle stage of the situation flew out and was seriously injured. He remembers clearly, that strong man in the sky is Lin Feng. Later, after the deputy leader returned, he passed the news about Lin Feng to the top. As a result, the higher-ups told them to let it go, and they must not offend the other party. Even because of this great power in the heaven realm, the killing order of Shuesho Rintu was revoked. My cousin and nephew actually offended a great power in the heaven realm? Yuan Tiangang was a little shocked. After noticing Lin Feng's eyes full of killing intent, he panicked again, only feeling his legs and feet go weak for a while. Then, plop, he also knelt down. See this scene? It was a bit noisy at first. It was quiet for an instant. Wang Chong, Zhang Qiu, and Zhang Ming were stunned. Lin Yunyao and Li Xiaoko were stunned. Qin Feng was also at a loss. Even Lin Feng himself was a little confused. What's happening here? I didn't do anything myself. Why did the other party kneel down? Cuff, Uncle, what are you doing? Qin Feng said tremblingly. At this moment, he was almost scared to pee. The bursts of pain from the broken arm made him feel a little worse than death. You idiot! Just mess around outside. How dare you offend this lord? If you let your father know about this matter, let's see if he doesn't beat you to death. Yuan Tiangang roared with an extremely ugly expression. This is a great power in the sky. The entire Jinling city is nothing but their lord, a heaven realm warrior. All the ants in the sky are not just talking. A martial artist of this level can already release his internal strength and external strength, communicate with the power of heaven and earth. And it is no problem to be an enemy, even as long as it does not do great evil. Even the national level will not be in charge. Big Lord! Qin Feng's heart trembled, and he looked at Lin Feng blankly, a little at a loss. He knows the identity of his cousin. Even my cousin calls him an adult. How terrifying it must be. At this time, Yuan Tiangang shifted his gaze to Lin Feng and said respectfully, "My lord, it was my nephew who offended you with blind eyes. I hereby apologize to you. You know me?" Lin Feng said with great interest. "I'm Yuan Tiangang from the Martial Arts Union. Sir, don't you remember what happened last night?" Yuan Tiangang replied respectfully. Lin Feng suddenly realized when he heard the words. No wonder this person was so scared when he saw him. It turned out to be those members of the Martial Arts Alliance last night. However, at that time, all his eyes were on the deputy leader. The other little Karamis didn't pay much attention. This cousin of yours is so powerful that he even made his mind on my younger sister. My younger sister can't even bear to bully me, Lin Feng said calmly. Yuan Tiangong's heart tightened when he heard the words. He naturally knew the meaning of Lin Feng's words. He was unwilling to let it go. But let him just watch Qin Feng's accident. He can't do it, so he can only grit his teeth and say, "My lord, we are wrong about this matter. You can put forward any conditions you have, and I will be absolutely satisfied. I don't ask for anything, I just want him to die." Lin Feng raised his eyelids and said calmly, "Give you two choices. The first one, he apologized himself. This matter can be done. Second, I will do it myself, and then I will take his head and visit the Qin family. See how powerful this Qin family is." Hearing Lin Feng's words, Yuan Tiangang felt cold all over. He didn't expect Lin Feng to be so vicious and ruthless, just wanting Xiaofeng to die. His tone was unquestionable. The surrounding audience is also creepy. Who is this young man in white? The fighting power is amazing. Not even the police. Now he is even threatening to kill the young master of the Qin family. You know, the Qin family is one of the 3 famous families in Jinling City, and in the eyes of the locals, they're like the emperors of the earth. No, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Qin Feng was almost scared to pee. He has always been lawless. I didn't expect to kick a hard stubble this time. Yuan Tiangang let out a foul breath and said to Lin Feng, "My lord, he is a member of the Qin family after all. How about the specifics? Can you allow me to inform his family? Are you looking for help?" The corner of Lin Feng's mouth was a little playful. "Don't dare." Yuan Tiangong's heart tightened. He did think so. Things are beyond his control now. All he can do now is to hold back Lin Feng and notify the Qin family to come over. Perhaps with the energy of the Qin family, Lin Feng can be restrained a bit. Although the Qin family currently does not have a strong person in the heavenly realm, there is a junior in the Qin family who joined the sect on the mountain. "All right, call whatever you want," Lin Feng said casually. Yuan Tiangang was overjoyed when he heard the words, and hurriedly took out his mobile phone to contact the current head of the Qin family. Time passed by. Shortly after, a few fighters from the Qin family hurried over in a BMW X7. "Who is so brash and dares to threaten to kill my Qin family?" Qin Tianju pushed away the crowd and said with a cold face, "He's been annoying lately. The first is the matter that the Fanning Yangyang stone was robbed by a mysterious heavenly realm expert. The second is the upcoming marriage between the Fanjiang family and the Qin family. These 2 things gave him a splitting headache. If he didn't handle them properly, the foundation of the Qin family might be shaken. However, when he was discussing strategies with several core figures in the family, Yuan Tiangang from the Martial Arts Union called him, saying that his nephew Qin Feng had been beaten. He also said that the man was very powerful and planned to kill Qin Feng, so he should hurry over. Very strong? How strong can it be? No matter how strong it is, can it be stronger than our Qin family? Now any cat or dog can provoke my Qin family, right? Then he flew into a rage. Moreover, his elder brother Qin Wudao is in the closed door, trying his best to break through the heavenly realm. The whole Qin family. He is currently taking care of it. If the eldest brother finds out that his youngest son has an accident when he is out of customs, what's the deal? So he immediately brought several strong men from the family over. I want to see who dares to be so arrogant in Jinling City. Seeing Qin Tianju's arrival, everyone in the field was shocked. It turned out that the second master of the Qin family came here in person. The second master of the Qin family is really powerful. This momentum is obviously much stronger. That's natural. The Qin family is the Qin family after all. It's not like a cat or a dog. This young man in white was so crazy just now. I don't know how he will end up now. Second uncle. Second uncle, you've come. When Qin Feng saw Qin Tianju coming, he wept with joy. Yuan Tiangang also breathed a sigh of relief. He was about to say something. He saw that Qin Tianju, who was still mighty and domineering just now, suddenly froze in place. At all, just because he saw Lin Feng. Yuan Tiangang suddenly had some bad feelings in his heart. It's me. What do you want? Lin Feng walked up to Qin Tianju and looked at him coldly. I find it very interesting in my heart. Isn't this the person who gave him the Jiang stone that night? Now, Qin Tianzu had the same idea as Lin Feng. He never thought that the person his nephew offended was the Heaven Realm expert that night. While this made him nervous, another feeling of eating a big shit. Qin Tianju was silent for a moment, exhaled a foul breath, took a step forward, and said respectfully, Senior, let's meet again. Wow, see this scene? Everyone in the field was in an uproar. What's happening here? People like the second master of the Qin family actually showed a groveling gesture in front of this young man in white. Second uncle, what are you doing? Qin Feng was about to collapse. His voice became hoarse. What exactly is this for? Is Lin Feng, whom I offended, really that powerful? First Uncle Yuan knelt down. Now even my second uncle is in awe. Qin Tianju was very distressed when he saw his nephew. But there is nothing to do. The current Qin family is in troubled times, and they must not offend a strong man in the sky. He ignored Qin Feng, but respectfully said to Lin Feng, Senior, since my nephew offended you, say something. No matter what you say, I agree unconditionally. I want your nephew to die. Lin Feng said lightly. Qin Tianju's body trembled when he heard the words. A smile appeared on his face, and he said, Can you make another request? For example, gold and silver treasures, antique paintings. As long as you report the number, Senior, my Qin family can meet it. What do you say? Lin Feng sneered. Qin Tianju clenched his fist, then let it go. Then, he suddenly turned around and walked towards Qin Feng. Second uncle, you have to save me. You must save me. I don't want to die. I know I was wrong. I will definitely study hard in the future, and I will never pick up girls again, Qin Feng said in tears. Xiaofeng, both your father and second uncle have been telling you not to be too playful, but you just don't listen. Qin Tianju looked at Qin Feng indifferently. I see. I'll change it. I will definitely change it. Second uncle, take me home. It's too late. Second uncle, what do you mean? Second uncle, don't scare me. You know I'm timid. Xiaofeng, don't blame second uncle. Even if your father is here, he will do the same thing as second uncle. To blame, you can only blame you for really messing with someone you shouldn't have offended this time. Second uncle, no, don't. Booms. Without hesitation, Qin Tianju killed Qin Feng on the spot with one palm. In an instant, blood flowed down the cracks in the floor, which looked shocking. Sigh. Seeing this, everyone in the field gasped. Some timid people even covered their eyes. No one ever thought the second master of the Qin family will personally kill his nephew. How did this happen? Even Yuan Tiangang was shocked and puzzled. He didn't expect Qin Tianju to make this choice. After killing Qin Feng, Qin Tianju walked in front of Lin Feng again, with a smile on his face and said, Senior, are you satisfied? Pretty good. Lin Feng nodded lightly. He knew that Qin Tianju must hate himself to death in his heart now, but he didn't care. The chance has been given. I hope the Qin family will be smarter. If he insisted on looking for death like that Situ Hao, then he can't be blamed. Not to mention, Qin Feng asked for all of this. If he was just an ordinary person today, would Qin Feng soften his heart and let him and his sister go? Obviously not. A world of the jungle. Whoever has the biggest fist is right, and whoever is kind-hearted will die the worst. In that case, Senior, I still have something to do, so I won't bother you for now. Qin Tianzhu smiled. Then he waved his hand and signaled his subordinates to move Qin Feng's body away. That's it. A group of Qin family came and went quickly. In a blink of an eye, it disappeared in front of everyone's eyes. My lord, I'm leaving too. Yuan Tiangang took a deep look at Lin Feng, then turned and left. He has to go back and report this matter to the deputy leader. It is not scary to see a warrior from the heavenly realm appear in Jinling City. The frightening thing is that this celestial martial artist ignores the rules and treats human life like ants, so the meaning is completely different. Dead now. The ordinary people didn't dare to stay any longer and fled in all directions. In a blink of an eye, the field became much quieter. Where are you going? Lin Feng looked at Chen Lu, who was about to sneak away, and said calmly, Thump. Misunderstandings are all misunderstandings. Chen Lu knelt down in fright and explained with a face full of horror. Even the Qin family didn't dare to offend Lin Feng, and Qin Feng was hacked to death face to face by his second uncle. Do you count yourself as a fart? So, I just gave up resistance. Boom! Lin Feng kicked Chen Lu unconscious. There's no need to get too entangled with this kind of little person who is following the trend. After this lesson, she will definitely have a long memory. At this time, Wang Cheng walked over with Zhang Ming and his son nervously. At this moment, Wang Cheng had a new understanding of Lin Feng's strength, and he was in awe to the bone. Brother Lemmy, don't tell me, tell Xiao Ke. If she forgives you, I don't care. If she doesn't forgive, then this Zhangqiu will go with that Qin Feng. It's good to have someone to take care of you when you two go on the road. Lin Feng said lightly. No, I don't want to die. Zhangqiu's voice trembled, and he felt his legs go limp. With the example of Qin Feng first, he did not doubt the authenticity of Lin Feng's words. Zhangqiu hurriedly ran to Li Xiaoke and knelt down. While slapping himself, he begged bitterly. Beauty, I was wrong. Just let me go. I hit you just now, and I will pay you back 10 times and 100 times. As long as you spare me, I will eat shit if you let me eat it. As can be seen, he hit himself really hard. Just a few slaps. He just slapped his already red and swollen face into a bloody mess. After all, Li Xiaoke is just a young girl. Seeing this scene, I felt a little unbearable and hurriedly said, Okay, don't hit me. Just forget it this time, and don't come to our school to bully girls in the future. Zhangqiu heard the words, although his face was in pain, but he was greatly relieved in his heart, flattered excitedly, and said, Living Bodhisattva, beauty, you are really a living Bodhisattva. For Xiaozhang's sake, please tell me. Li Xiaoke curled his lips when he heard this, but didn't say anything else. Don't hurry up, Lin Feng said coldly. Go. I'm going to go. Zhang Mingru was granted an amnesty and hurriedly fled the scene with his son. Wang Cheng wanted to say something, but seeing Lin Feng's indifferent expression, he chose to shut up. In fact, from the first time I saw Lin Feng, he has always deliberately wanted to befriend Lin Feng, but unfortunately it all failed in the end. The last time I found a few young models, I offended Lin Feng completely. This made him understand a truth. Some circles, it's not something you can meld into if you want to. Although he is the chairman of a large group and has some power in the dark, but in the eyes of a top warrior like Lin Feng, he is just a bigger ant. That's all. Let everything take its course. Wang Cheng sighed inwardly and left the scene lonely. Lin naturally knew what Wang Cheng was thinking, but he didn't take it to heart at all. The reason why Wang Cheng approached him was entirely because he wanted to use him to expand his power. If he is an ordinary person, is he still like this? As the saying goes, you should compare your heart with your heart. You are true to me. I will naturally be polite to you. If you approach with other purposes, I can only say sorry. There is no shortage of such dog legs around me, Lin Feng. You are mere Wang Cheng. You don't have the qualifications yet. I saw that almost everyone left. Lin Yunyao and Li Xiaoke walked up quickly. Brother, you are amazing. Lin Yunyao waved her small fist happily. Uncle, thank you. Li Xiaoke seemed a little afraid of facing Lin Feng's gaze. He lowered his head. His cheeks were flushed, and his voice was moaning like a mosquito. When she thought of the time when she first met Uncle, Xiaoyao also lied to herself that the uncle came here to take a shit, and somehow felt a little funny in her heart. How could Uncle do such a vulgar thing? But Uncle is really amazing, and not all like other men. It doesn't smell bad. It has a slight fragrance. He is handsome and can fight. Everyone is afraid of him, and he is so kind to himself. The young girl Huaichuan has many thoughts. Li Xiaoke's gaze gradually lost focus. Lin Feng naturally didn't know the messy thoughts in Li Xiaoke's mind. Looking at the pitiful appearance of these two little girls, he felt both distressed and helpless in his heart. He pretended to be serious and said, Xiaoyao, what did brother tell you before? You say that if someone dares to bully me again, I'll just use the talisman you gave me to blow it up. Don't be afraid. You will bear the responsibility of the accident. Lin Yunyao said with some embarrassment. And then? How did you do it? I'm afraid of hurting others. Lin Yunyao said weakly. Lin Feng pinched his younger sister's cheeks full of collagen and said, You are too soft-hearted. If you don't hurt others, others will hurt you. In this cannibalistic society, you must learn to be ruthless. A soft-hearted person will be bullied all his life. Do you know? Understood. Lin Yunyao clenched her small fist. Obviously, what happened just now made her very annoyed. But this time, if these things happen, I guess I will be fired. Lin Yunyao said with some worry. Don't think about it. With my brother here, no one dares to expel you. You can just enjoy your time in college. Academic grades are not important. The important thing is to be happy. Lin Feng said. Brother, it's good to have you. Lin Yunyao thought of her previous experience. Her eyes turned red. Suddenly, she changed her words and said, Brother, you're also 32 years old. It's time to find a wife, and you can't just be single like this forever, right? Parents know. They will definitely be very sad. Silly girl, you're really worried about my brother's affairs. Lin Feng fondled his younger sister's head, but the figure of Chun Inuan appeared in his mind. Just wait for tomorrow. There should be a result. Brother, why not let Xiao be your daughter-in-law? Lin Yunyao said suddenly. Xiaoyao, what are you talking about? Li Xiaoke was sullen and stretched out his fist to hit Lin Yunyao's chest, but his eyes couldn't help but glance at Lin Feng. After finding that Lin Feng didn't respond, he couldn't help but feel a little bit disappointed. Where am I talking nonsense? My brother is so good. You can make money if you find it, Lin Yunyao said with a smile. Say it again. Li Xiaoke pouted and snorted. Okay, the two little girls are only so old. Go to school hard and think about all these things all day long. Lin Feng helplessly interrupted the play of the two girls. Although Li Xiaoke is very playful and cute, in his heart, he is just like a younger sister. Of course, he couldn't have any idea about it. Not to mention, he only thinks about Chun Inuan now. At this time, a group of people rushed over not far away. There are about a dozen of them. All of them are capable, avoiding passers-by wherever they pass, and feeling full of oppression. The leader is a middle-aged man in tang suit. The middle-aged man has a beard, his temples are gray, and his face is not angry and majestic. Xiaoke, who is it? Who bullied you? Tell Dad. I want his life. Li Rahai rushed up with a group of people and said aggressively. Seeing this, Lin Feng frowned. This middle-aged man is Li Xiaoke's father? It turned out to be a martial artist in the early stage of the realm. You are so funny. Everyone is gone. And you are here. Li Xiaoke couldn't help but sneered. She did notify this irresponsible father just now, but she didn't expect his father to come so slowly, which made her even more annoyed. Are you done? Li Rahai was startled. In fact, he had already rushed here as fast as he could, but the Li family was in the west of the city, kilometers away from here, and there was a traffic jam on the road. So he came late. Not bad. Fortunately, Uncle saved me. When you come, I will probably be beaten to death. Li Xiaoke said coldly. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng was surprised. Why is Xiao Ku so indifferent to her father? You saved my daughter. Li Ruhai looked at Lin Feng and asked. Lin Feng nodded. Undeniable. Hearing this, Li Ruhai winked at one of his subordinates behind him. The subordinate immediately took out a bank card from the bag. Thank you for saving my daughter. There are 500 million in this card, which is my reward for thanking you. Li Ruhai said. Lin Feng glanced at the bank card, but didn't answer it. What? Do you think it's too little? Li Ruhai frowned. No, I don't think it's necessary to use money to measure this kind of thing. Once money is used, it will change. And my relationship with Xiaoku is also very good. If she is in danger, I will definitely take care of it. Lin Feng shook his head. From what you mean, is it possible that you still have thoughts about my daughter? Li Ruhai narrowed his eyes slightly. Xiaoku has the blood of the Li family. But now the Li family members are few and far between. Xiaoku is the person the old man appointed to take back, and it is by no means ordinary people who can make up their minds. Lin Feng shook his head when he heard the words and said, You think too much. I just regard Xiaoku as my younger sister. It's the best. The ugly words come first. My daughter is not something you can make up your mind about. Li Ruhai said calmly. Lin Feng laughed dumbfounded when he heard the words and said lightly, This old man, let's not talk about whether I have any thoughts about Xiaoku. I think it's better for elders not to get involved in this kind of thing. What do you think? Everyone has the right to pursue love. As Xiaoku's father, what you should do is to encourage Xiaoku, not to stop Xiaoku. You are a typical poor peasant thinking. How can there be so much love in the world? You are too young. Li Ruhai smiled disdainfully. Li Ruhai, what are you talking about? Don't worry about my affairs, and I won't allow you to insult Uncle. Li Xiaoke couldn't listen anymore and said loudly. Li Ruhai seems to have gotten used to his daughter's attitude towards him. He didn't care but shook his head and said, Xiaoku, I talked to your mother on the phone before I came, and she meant to get back together with me. So now you are the eldest lady of our Li family. Apart from your elder brother, you are the only one left in the younger generation of the Li family. You have to understand that Dad will not harm you. Li Xiaoke was taken aback when he heard the words, and then said incredulously, Mom, agree to get back together with you? Not bad. Li Ruhai nodded. When Li Xiaoke heard this, his emotions suddenly collapsed. Even if Mom is willing to forgive you, I will not forgive you. You are an irresponsible scum. You are not worthy of being a father. After finishing speaking, Li Xiaoke covered his face, choked with sobs, and ran towards the school dormitory. I'll take care of Xiaoku. Lin Yunyao said something and hurriedly followed. Watching the two girls leave, Li Ruhai's complexion was a little ugly. He moved his gaze to Lin Feng and said in a deep voice, I'm a very reasonable person. You saved my daughter. I am very grateful to you. But if you think about other messy things, don't blame me for revenge. I'll give you another 500 million, 1,000 million. This money is enough for you to buy a house in the center of Jinling City. I don't like money, and I think there's something wrong with your thinking. Lin Feng shook his head, turned, and left directly. After Lin Feng left, a martial artist from the Li family stepped forward and said in a low voice, Second Master, this kid is so arrogant. Do you want to teach him a lesson? Give him a chance. If he dares to get entangled, let's talk. Li Ruhai shook his head. Then he said coldly, Go and investigate for me. I'll see who dared to beat my daughter. I'll make him pay with his life. Qin family lobby. The atmosphere was suppressed to the extreme. Qin Tianju was sitting on the pear-flower wooden chair above. His face was gloomy, and he didn't say a word. There are people standing below him. There are as many as 30 or 40 digits of fighters at all levels of Earth Realm, Profound Realm, and Yellow Realm. Each one has a good breath and a sense of oppression. These are the heritage of the Qin family, the elite of the elite. And at this moment, it is such a group of strong people, but their faces are full of anger and sadness. Because of their presence, there is a cold corpse. It is Qin Feng. Qin Feng's body was stiff and whitish, his face was purple, and the blood at the corner of his mouth had dried up and scabbed, making him look very bleak. Second uncle, I was wrong, I'll change. Take me home. I want to go home. Thinking of what his nephew said before he died, Qin Tianju couldn't help clenching his fists. His heart ached. He watched Qin Feng grow up. Because of his martial arts practice, he has no children in his life. So in his eyes, Qin Feng is equivalent to his son. But now, he killed Qin Feng with his own hands. Like bitch, no one can understand this kind of pain. Second master, is this the end of the matter? The young master can't die in vain. Yes. What a shame, my Qin family, as one of the 3 famous families in Jinling City, has never been bullied like this. If you don't avenge this revenge, what face will my Qin family have to stay in Jinling City? A group of warriors said coldly. Calm down. Even if so many of us go together, it's still not enough to kill that Heaven Realm expert. Qin Tianju said coldly. This statement came out. The field fell silent instantly. A group of warriors clenched their fists tightly, then loosened them again, feeling powerless in their hearts. That's a heavenly warrior, no matter how angry and unwilling. Who can deal with it? Tianju, should we inform Wu Dao about this? At this time, Qin Kuan, a strong elder of the Qin family, who was in the middle stage, said in a deep voice, Third uncle, big brother, is breaking through the heaven realm. We can't disturb him. We'll talk about everything after he breaks through. Qin Tianju shook his head and said again, Xiaofeng, I killed him with my own hands, and I will explain this to my elder brother. In addition, Qin Xinshu, the son of Yinchuan's Qin family, has already arrived in Jinling City. Under the arrangement of the Jiang family, he is currently staying at the Jinling Hotel. This is not a good thing. In short, this period of time is troublesome. The Jiang family is watching us covetously. The Qin family will never die. We must hold on. Wait for Big Brother to come out. That's when my Qin family will feel proud. At that time, all the shame we have suffered, we must pay back to the other party double. At the same time, inside the Jinling City Martial Arts Union, a middle-aged man in black stood with his hands behind his back and stood in front of the wooden window, looking at the busy traffic in the distance. This person is none other than Wang Yuexian, the only celestial realm expert known to the public in Jinling City. And behind him, there are 2 martial arts experts standing there. One is the deputy leader, Yang Dingtian, in the middle stage of the situation. The other was a core member, Yuan Tiangang, who was at the peak of the profound realm. What do you mean? The sudden appearance of the powerful man from the heaven not only got mixed up with the blood-handed human massacre, but also killed innocent people indiscriminately. Wang Yuexian turned around and said calmly, That's right. This person is really extremely arrogant. He regards human life as an ant and doesn't take anyone seriously. Yuan Tiangang replied respectfully. It was his cousin who died, so he naturally wanted to belittle Lin Feng vigorously. Leader, the Jinling City caused by this person is in turmoil. Even the 3 major families are ignored, and according to the eyeliner, it seems that even the Sankaotang has been shocked by this person. After Yang Dingtian finished speaking, he shook his head and said, This person's origin is unknown, as if he appeared suddenly. He has no roots and no fate, and he acts so arrogantly, which is not a good thing for Jinling City. Nowadays, the 3 major families in Jinling City are divided and governed separately, and the 4 major gangs manage the security of the secret passage. Once this balance is broken, everything will be messed up. Wang Yuexian revealed a pensive expression when he heard the words. After a while, he asked, You didn't investigate his identity? Investigated. It's all empty information. This person's name is Lin Feng. He lives in Linjia village on the outskirts of the city. He grew up in Jinling City since he was a child. He graduated from Jinling University 10 years ago. His parents were killed by a garbage truck in Yunchuan, and he also has a younger sister. Apart from being pretty, this younger sister doesn't have any special features. When Yang Dingtian said this, he paused and said again, What is puzzling is that he has disappeared for 10 years. This period of time is blank. I have searched for all relationships, but have not found out. Disappeared for 10 years? Wang Yuexian narrowed his eyes slightly and said to himself, It seems that in the past 10 years, he had an adventure. Could it be that he was taken in by a certain sect on the mountain? I think so too, Yang Dingtian replied. This kid is really interesting. Wang Yuexian thought for a moment, then said lightly, Go and find him. Just say I want to see him. Yang Dingtian hesitated for a moment, then said, But if he refuses, why doesn't he want to come? Does he have the guts? Wang Yuexian sneered. Yang Dingtian and Yuan Tiangang became more respectful when they heard the words. The leader is the leader. Even the ordinary heavenly realm is nothing more than that in his eyes. The other side. After Lin Feng left Jinling University, he went directly to a Chinese medicine shop. Tomorrow is the day to diagnose Inua's daughter. Although he is confident that he can treat all difficult and miscellaneous diseases, he still needs to be prepared to avoid some minor accidents when the time comes. Moreover, his main medical skills all need to be performed with 13 yin and yang needles, so he has to buy some gold needles. In fact, when he was practicing on the mountain earlier, the old man had made him a set of gold needles. This set of gold needles has been tempered by the old man and has become a spiritual weapon, but out of resentment towards the old man, he did not bring it down the mountain. As for the 13 needles of yin and yang, this is a set of acupuncture methods that have been lost for a long time in the Chinese medicine field. According to the old man, it was created by a great medical sage in ancient times who comprehended the mysteries of the human body. Its principle is mainly based on aura. Call 52 single acupoints, 309 double acupoints, 50 extra meridian acupoints, and 36 deadly acupoints on the human body, so that the aura can enter the body through these acupoints and run a big and small circle. Although the human body is mysterious and complex, this method can simplify the complexity and find out the causes of all diseases. People in the world say that Western medicine is scientifically reasonable, but they don't know that there are some things in this world that science can't explain at all. Lin Feng shook his head. He went into a traditional Chinese medicine store to buy a set of gold needles, but found that they were not sold. So he had to make a last resort and buy a set of silver needles. For most Chinese medicine practitioners, golden needles are used for nourishment and silver needles are used for venting. But for Lin Feng, they're all the same. The difference may just be the carrying capacity of the aura. After buying silver needles, Lin Feng planned to call his sister and ask her to come out for dinner with Xiaoko. But at this moment, the phone rang. Young Master Lin, it's me. A respectful voice came from the other end of the phone. Lin Feng remembered this voice. It was the voice of Tan Tianhong, the lobby master of Sanko Hall. What made him puzzled was, what was Tan Tianhong doing calling himself at this time? Just say something. It's like this, young Master Lin. Didn't you ask us to help you pay attention to the spiritual bomb? I have some news here. Are you free now? Tan Tianhong said respectfully. Send the location. I'll go there now. It is good. After hanging up the phone, a gleam flashed across Lin Feng's eyes. More people is easier to do things. I didn't expect Tan Tianhong to have news of the explosive bomb so soon. Spirit bombs are equivalent to spirit stones to him. The more the better. At the same time, Sankaotang headquarters. Several core figures, including the first Hall Master Tan Tianhong and the third Hall Master Zhou Yunmei, sat together. Brother, what does young Master Lin say? Zhou Yunmei asked. Come here in a while. Tan Tianhong's eyes moved slightly. After being subdued by Lin Feng last night, he went to the famous Dr. Sai Huadawa to check his physical condition. It turns out that there is indeed a mysterious energy entangled in my lifeblood, and this energy is in dormancy. Once it riots, he will immediately bleed to death from his 7 orifices. Subsequently, he begged Sai Huadawa to help him solve it. But I never thought that even Sai Huadawa, an expert in medicine, could do nothing. This made him even more in awe of Lin Feng. When he knew that his subordinates had inquired about the spiritual bomb, he immediately notified Lin Feng. Boss, are we really surrendering to him? It would be fine if he treated us as human beings. But in his eyes, we are just dog legs. This is really humiliating to me. A martial artist in the early stage of the realm said a little unwillingly. Personality is more important, or life is more important. If you want to die, You can tell him your opinion when he comes over later. Tan Tianhong sneered. The martial artist in the early stage of the realm laughed dryly when he heard this, and didn't dare to beep any more. Now the whole Sanka Hall, who was not afraid of a murderous god like Lin Feng, dissatisfied in front of Lin Feng, is just looking for death. He was upset and couldn't help but think about it in front of the boss. But he wasn't a fool, just complaining. If he was to die, he wouldn't do it. Brother, do we really not inform Zunlingman? If the Xianling sect can help, even if he is in the heaven realm, I believe he will admit it. At this time, Zhou Yunmei suggested again. No. If you tell Zunlingman, you will offend Lin Feng to death. It will not benefit us at all. And as I said before, Zunlingman is not a good thing either. Tan Tianhong shook his head and refused. Although Zhou Yunmei showed disapproval when she heard the words, she didn't say anything more. At this time, click, Lin Feng pushed the door open and walked in. Everyone was startled and hurriedly stood up. Young Master Lin, why are you here so soon? Tan Tianhong was a little shocked. This is too fast. Away from hanging up, it's only been less than 2 minutes. I happen to be near your side, so I came here. Lin Feng replied casually. Then he glanced at Zhou Yunmei lightly. Seeing this, Zhou Yunyao hurriedly lowered her head, feeling a little nervous, and couldn't help thinking. Could it be that Lin Feng heard what he just said? If this is the case, that's it. Just when Zhou Yunyao was at a loss, Lin Feng looked away. This made her feel relieved, and she couldn't help wiping the cold sweat from her forehead. You said you heard about the spiritual bomb? Lin Feng asked. It's like this. There will be an underground auction on the outskirts of the city tonight. According to the information I got, there will be an auction of spiritual bombs at the auction, and there will be more than one. Tan Tianhong said respectfully. Underground auction? Lin Feng's heart skipped a beat. It's equivalent to an auction in the martial arts world. The participants are all warriors in Jinling City. The organizer is the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce. Tan Tianhong replied. Oh, what is the origin of this Baiyun Chamber of Commerce? It must not be easy to be able to organize such an auction in the martial arts world. Lin Feng asked curiously. I don't know about this either. The Baiyun Chamber of Commerce is very mysterious. It has branches all over the country. Basically, everything that can be bought and sold in the world is sold by this Chamber of Commerce. Some people say that the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce is all behind the country. Some people say that behind it is a super big sect. In short, everyone says what they say. No one can say for sure. However, one thing is certain. The Baiyun Chamber of Commerce's waters are very deep, and it is definitely not a simple generation. Tan Tianhong said everything he knew. In that case, let's wait until the auction starts tonight. Lin Feng paused, then said casually. By the way, I don't have much money in my hand. Only a few million. Is it enough? The corners of Tan Tianhong's mouth twitched slightly. Millions? You don't even have the qualifications to enter the auction, do you? Buy a hairy spirit bomb. Of course this word, he didn't dare to say it outright. And he also knew that Lin Feng must have more than a few million, a master of heaven. Who would believe him if he said that he was only a few million? The purpose of saying this is to let myself pay for it. Young Master Lin is joking. Of course, it is impossible for you to pay for this money. The mere spirit bomb is only a few hundred million, and I can still pay for it. A smile appeared on Tan Tianhong's face. I'm a little embarrassed when you say that. Thank you. Lin Feng patted Tan Tianhong's shoulder. Excuse me? I think that's what you mean. Everyone in the field felt a slander in their hearts. At around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a group of people drove to the suburbs. There are 4 people in total. Besides Lin Feng and Tan Tianhong, he also brought 2 profound realm warriors with him. On the way, Tan Tianhong told Lin Feng some precautions for the auction. For example, once you enter the auction venue, you must not cause trouble. This is expressly prohibited by the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce. Another example is that you can't make random quotations at auctions. Once you get the auction, if you don't have money to pay, the consequences will be very serious. Don't worry, I'm actually very low-key. Normally, I never cause trouble. Lin Feng said lightly. I just want to remind you, I believe that young Mastery Lin, with your calm personality, naturally you won't do something outrageous. Tan Tianhong smiled slightly and said, there will be a lot of good things in this auction. I heard that the 3 major families, the 4 major gangs, and some people from around Jinling City have all come. It will probably be very lively. Lin Feng's heart moved when he heard the words, and he asked, there are 3 clans and 4 gangs in Jinling City. Besides your Sankaotang, which other 3 of these 4 gangs are there? There are also the Zhatian Gang, the Longmantang, and the Fengyan Gang. How do these 3 forces compare to your 3-party hall? This, Tan Tianhong's face turned red suddenly. He hesitated for a moment, and then said in embarrassment, in terms of strength, our Sankaotang is at the bottom. Lin Feng was speechless when he heard the words. He thought that Sankaotang was very powerful, and after a long time, he was the weakest of the 7 parties. Don't worry. Follow me honestly. I won't treat you badly. Lin Feng said lightly. Then thank you, young Master Lin. Tan Tianhong laughed dryly. After about half an hour, the car stopped on a lush slope. Young Master Lin, the car can only drive so far. We have to get down and walk up the mountain. Tan Tianhong said in a low voice. Lin Feng nodded and got out of the car with Tan Tianhong. At a glance, this lush slope has obviously been bulldozed intentionally, with an area of dash-to-dash-moo. Many cars have been parked on the lush slope. They're all big off-road vehicles. Cruiser, Harvard H9, Ford F-150, Hummer H1. Lin Feng even saw a Mercedes-Benz Unimog that looked like a truck. These are all serious outdoor running, with amazing horsepower and large torque, and they're almost walking sideways in the wild. In addition to the car, there are many more. These people are all warriors, and they are walking towards the mountain in 2s and 3s. Lin Feng looked up. The mountain is not high above sea level, and it is estimated to be only 200 to 300 meters high. The vegetation on the mountain is lush, and there is nothing special about it. Seemingly aware of Lin Feng's doubts, Tan Tianhong took the initiative to introduce. Because this kind of auction is generally more secretive, the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce has specially established a large venue in this mountain. This venue is hidden in the mountain and cannot be seen from the outside. Besides, if you want to participate in this auction, you must have certain qualifications. Usually, the person in charge of Baiyun Chamber of Commerce will send invitation letters to all major forces 1 month in advance. Hearing Tan Tianhong's words, Lin Feng became more and more curious about this Baiyun Chamber of Commerce. At this time, a joking voice came from behind. Yo, isn't this Mr. Tan? What kind of strong wind brought Mr. Tan here this time? Tan Tianhong looked back. When he saw the person coming, his expression was a little ugly. Lin Feng also looked back. I see. There are 8 people walking in their direction. The leader is a middle-aged man in a white robe. The martial arts realm of this middle-aged man is comparable to that of Tan Tianhong, both of whom are in the late stages of the realm. But the person who spoke just now was not middle-aged. It was a young man in his 30s next to the middle-aged man. This young man was dressed in black, with a haughty expression, as if Lao Tzu was invincible. At the same time, seeing this scene, many warriors passing by stopped and started talking in low voices. Isn't this Cheng Yun from the Fengyan gang? The 4 major gangs in Jinling. The 3 clans are at the bottom. Only Tan Tianhong is a late-stage martial artist, and the 2 major gang leaders of the Fengyan gang, Cheng Feng, Cheng Yun is a late-stage martial artist. It is rumored that Tan Tianhong and Cheng Yun have been at odds for a long time, and now it is true. The young man next to Cheng Yun is named Cheng Kuan. He is only 34 years old this year, and he is already at the peak of the profound realm. He might be able to step into the heaven realm in the future. TSK. As a junior, Cheng Kuan took the initiative to provoke Tan Tianhong, probably under Cheng Yun's instigation. Now Tan Tianhong will lose all his old face. Junior? Have you ever met a junior at the peak of the profound realm? I heard that Cheng Kuan can leapfrog and fight, and once defeated a master at the early stage of the realm. Is so powerful? No wonder you are so arrogant. Soon, Chung Yun led his people to Tan Tianhong with a playful look on his face. Chung Yun, what do you mean? Tan Tianhong said coldly. I don't mean anything. It's just that my cousin has always admired the prestige of Section Master Tan. So when I saw Section Master Tan just now, I couldn't help but greeted him. Chung Yun smiled slightly. Chung Kun next to him is 1.9 meters tall. He lowered his head slightly, pointed at Tan Tianhong with his nostrils, and jokingly said, I've heard that Hall Master Tan is extremely narrow-minded, and it turned out to be the case today. I, a junior, can even make you angry when I say hello. Sang Kao Tang is really lonely now. It's better to merge into my Fengyan gang. Hearing this, Tan Tianhong narrowed his eyes slightly. And at this moment, a martial artist at the peak of the profound realm behind Tan Tianhong snorted coldly. Road, it's true that a dog can't spit out ivory. Since you know that you are a junior, you must have the consciousness of a junior. Is it for you to scream in front of our hall master? Who are you? The laughter on Chung Kuin's face gradually dissipated. I'm Kai Wen, the first deacon of Sanka Church. What do you want? Kai Wen sneered. Chung Kuin is the peak of the profound realm, and he is also the peak of the profound realm, so naturally he is not afraid. I want to fuck you. Chung Kuin sneered. Simply neat. Immediately launched an attack on Kai when a long fist blasted out. The power is amazing. Kai Wen's expression changed slightly, and he rushed to meet him. Boom! Boom! The two peak fighters in the profound realm faced each other in an instant. The two sides came and went, punching to the flesh, seeing everyone in the field dazzled. This is really because the enemies are so jealous when they meet each other. They start fighting when they talk about fighting. This is your first time participating in an auction, right? In previous years, Sang Kao Tang was often blocked by members of the Fengyan gang here, and this year is no exception. The Fengyan gang wants to humiliate Sang Kao Tang, so they can only do it here. Otherwise, when we get to the auction house later, with the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce, who dares to mess around? I just don't know. Who can win? Although this Kai Wen is also at the peak of the profound realm, he is definitely not Chung Kuin's opponent. Chung Kuin has already half-stepped into the realm. At this time, trash, just because you want to block me? After Chung Kuin dodged Kai Wen's punch, he let out a smirk. A sidekick hit Kai Wen hard in the waist. Crack! Kai Wen screamed. The whole person was kicked and flew more than 10 meters away. He lay on the ground and kept struggling, trying to get up, but failed after several attempts. On! Seeing this scene, Tan Tianhong's expression changed slightly. A leap of more than 10 meters came to Kai Wen's side, checked carefully, but found that all of Kai Wen's lumbar vertebrae had been broken. In other words, Wen is useless. It is likely that the rest of my life will be spent in a wheelchair. Chung Kuin, you are so ruthless. Tan Tianhong turned his head suddenly and said in a ferocious voice, his eyes were full of killing intent. Seeing this, Chung Kuin's heart tightened, and he couldn't help taking a step back. Although he is conceited, he also knows that he is definitely not the opponent of Tan Tianhong in the late stage. At this moment, Chung Yin took a step forward and said lightly, Teacher Tan, is it possible that you, an elder, still want to intervene in the battle between the juniors? Your skills are not as good as others, so you can only blame yourself for being rubbish and no one else. Crumble! Tan Tianhong clenched his fists tightly. His expression was extremely ugly, but he couldn't make a move. Otherwise, Chung Yun would definitely find an excuse to fight, and then it would not be as simple as a duel. It would be fine if Sang Kao Tang can beat the Fengyan gang, but the key is that they are indeed not the opponents of the Fengyan gang now. Tang, Hallmaster, I'm sorry. Wen has humiliated you. At this time, Cowan said tremblingly. He knew that he was useless. His lower body was unconscious. No, I'm sorry for you. Tan Tianhong looked at Wen's appearance. His eyes were red. Wen was the first batch of brothers who followed him to fight the world. But now it has become like this. Master, I'm here to avenge Wen. At this time, another martial artist at the peak of the profound realm in Sang Kao Tang clenched his fists and said in a cold voice, No, Bin, your strength is not as good as Wen, and it is not suitable to go up. Tan Tianhong shook his head. Emotions gradually calmed down. Although he was angry, he knew that anger was useless. He had to calm down. But, nothing but. Don't go. Tian Bin burst into tears when he heard the words and clenched his fists, hating himself for being powerless. I said can you stop being so sad? Lin Feng walked up lightly. He is a man who hates trouble. But Sankaotang is now his dog's leg after all. No matter, that's impossible. I'll see how he's hurt, Lin Feng said. Young Master Lin, do you still know medical skills? Tan Tianhong was a little shocked. Know a thing or two. Lin Feng squatted down. Putting his hand on Kai Wen's waist, he knew the injury instantly. The vertebrae are broken, and the viscera have also shifted. It can be said that 90% of doctors are helpless in this situation. But to Lin Feng, it was nothing. You're lucky. Not long ago, I bought a set of silver needles. Hold on, I'll help you align your bones. Lin Feng took out the silver needle and quickly tied it without waiting for Kai Wen to reply. Sigh. Kai Wen immediately broke out in a cold sweat from the pain. I just feel like hundreds of millions of ants are gnawing on my meridians and blood vessels. See this scene. Many warriors around are all curious. Who is this young man in white? Very raw. Pretentious. My kick has definitely broken his waist. Even Sai Hua is useless here. Chung Kuan's face was full of disdain. At this time, not far away, there's a Mercedes-Benz GLS 450 driving fast. After the vehicle stops, the co-pilot's door was opened first. Jiang Junlin smiled at the people behind the car as he got off the car. Inua, don't worry. Dr. Yaoyan has almost figured out Xiao Lianlian's illness, and he only needs to use the medicine to get rid of the illness. The iceberg snow lotus in the auction this time happens to be Yaoyan. No matter how much it costs, I will get it for you. Jiang Junlin, thank you. Chen Inua then got out of the car and nodded lightly. But Lin Feng's figure couldn't help appearing in his mind. She said before that as long as Lin Feng can cure her daughter's illness, she will forgive Lin Feng and give him a chance. But now it is obviously impossible, because not long ago, the magic medicine cloud from Yaowang Valley came to Jinling City. After diagnosing Xiao Lianlian, he immediately revealed the cause of Xiao Lianlian and gave a solution. This time, she followed Jiang Junlin to the auction. It's because this auction will have a blind drug guide in the prescription written by Yao Yun. She once promised, as long as Jiang Junlin can save her daughter, she will marry him. Didn't expect it to come this far. She resisted again in her heart. She knew that she didn't like Jiang Junlin at all. But for the sake of her daughter, she had no choice. Xiaoyao, you really want to thank Junlin this time? He has done a lot for you. That Dr. Yaoyan is from the Valley of Medicine Kings, and it's not something that ordinary people can invite. At this time, another person got off the car. It was Chen Inua's eldest brother, Chen Qinshu, a peak martial artist. Chen Inua nodded, but did not speak. Brother Qinshu, these are what I should do, so don't flatter me. Jiang Junlin smiled slightly. I didn't praise you. You are indeed excellent. No worse than your sister. It's indeed a blessing for the Jiang family to have you two siblings. If my guess is right, you just broke through to the early stages of the realm last night, right? Chen Qinshu said. Jiang Junlin was taken aback when he heard the words, and then glanced at Chen Qinshu with some apprehension. It is indeed the number one of the Yinchuan Chen family's youth generation. No one told me about my breakthrough. Unexpectedly, Chen Qinshu saw it at a glance. Not bad. I had a lucky breakthrough last night. Jiang Junlin nodded with a smile. One journey in martial arts is not a fluke. You can break through at this age. It is your strength. Chen Qinshu shook his head. Hearing the conversation between the two, Chen Inua was also a little shocked. Although she has no martial arts skills, she also knows what it means for Jiang Junlin to break through the realm. You know, Jiang Junlin is only 30 years old. Breaking through the realm now, almost -% will be able to enter the realm of heaven in the future. This kind of talent is really evil. Jiang Junlin noticed the shock in Chen Inua's eyes and couldn't help but feel a little proud. At this time, He saw a group of people gathered not far away. He was a little surprised and said, "Why don't these people go up the mountain? What are they doing around here?" "Go and see." Chen Qinshu strode forward. Soon the three of them came to the front and saw Lin Feng, who was treating Kai Wen. "It's him." Chen Qinshu was a little surprised. Chen Inua pursed her lips, silently looked at Lin Feng with a pair of clear eyes, and her heart was in a mess. She really did not expect to see Lin Feng here. If Lin Feng knew that Xiao Yinlian could be saved, he would be very unhappy. But if he knew Xiao Yinlian is actually his daughter, he will definitely be very excited again. Thinking of this, Chen Inua's heart became more and more confused. "Sidu Hao, what the hell is this bastard doing? Didn't you promise me that you want someone to kill Lin Feng?" Jiang Junlin was expressionless, but he was extremely upset in his heart. Yesterday, he specially called Situ Hao, the second hall master of Senka Hall, and Situ Hao also promised himself that he would definitely kill Lin Feng. It turned out that Lin Feng was not only fine, but looked very nourished. At this time, he noticed Tan Tianhong next to Lin Feng. His expression changed slightly. How could the first hall master be with Lin Feng? Is it? Jiang Junlin stepped aside and called Situ Hao, but found that the phone could not be connected. Looks like something went wrong. What a waste. Jiang Junlin held the phone with a cold expression. In his opinion, Tan Tianhong must have caught Situ Hao's petty tricks, so Tan Tianhong killed Situ Hao and saved Lin Feng. By the way, in order to repay Tan Tianhong, Lin Feng became Tan Tianhong's younger brother. He is quite good at flattering. It's a pity that even Tan Tianhong is not worth mentioning in my eyes. I want you to die. You must die. Jiang Junlin thought coldly. At the same time, after questioning the neighbors, Chen Qinshu and Chen Ino also knew what happened just now. Unexpectedly, this Lin Feng is also good at medicine, Chen Qinshu said with interest. "Brother, how about you help him later? After all, Lin Feng is also Xiao Yinlian's biological father." Chen Inua looked at Lin Feng with worry in his eyes. "Sister, remember, Xiao Yinlian's biological father is dead. When you marry Junlin in the future, Junlin will be her father." Chen Qinshu reminded her, then said coldly, "Lin Feng has betrayed you for 10 years. The person you killed was neither human nor ghost. I didn't take action to kill him, which is enough to give him face. You still want me to help him deal with Feng Yun Gang? Impossible." That's it. About 3 minutes passed. Lin Feng put away the silver needle, stood up, and said lightly, "Okay, for a week, just be careful not to do strenuous exercise." This statement came out. Everyone in the field showed astonishment. This is not an ordinary ailment, but a broken waist. You just go up and prick a few needles randomly, and it probably took only a few minutes before and after. Is it cured? After a brief absence, everyone in the field couldn't help chuckling. To be honest, I usually don't laugh, but this time I can't help it. You said you have to pretend to be a little more like it? You can restore your waist in a few minutes, and you can recover within 7 days? Do you think you are a fairy? As the saying goes, it takes 100 days to hurt the muscles and bones. Not to mention that Kai Wen's waist has been shattered, and it is impossible to heal. This kid is good at putting on a show, but he's actually just an embroidered pillow. He just bluffed us. Are all the people in Sankaotang this kind of waste who can only pretend? At this time, Chen Kuan also said with a look of disdain, "Kuan, I think you should save a little face for others. After all, beating people is not slapping face." Chung Yin next to him said with a smile, "That's right. Section Master Tan is an old senior, so we still have to give him some face." Chung Kuan nodded pretendingly, and then deliberately said to Tan Tianhong, "Master Tan, I was the one who was rude just now. I, Chung Kuan, am here to apologize to you. The main reason is that I didn't know that you people in Sankaotang are such rubbish." As the conversation between the two fell, the audience burst into laughter. Have to say, Fengyan Ganghoran really has a hand. These words were like pressing Sankaotang's face into the latrine again. In the crowd, Chen Qinshu shook his head. The lumbar bone was broken. Even if the genius Dr. Yaoyan from Yaowang Valley came here, he would have to spend a lot of effort if he wanted to continue. Cured in a few minutes. It's not possible at all. It can be seen from this that Lin Feng is indeed unbearable, with a very flamboyant personality. Sister, do you think such a person is worth my help? Is it worth your nostalgia? Chen Qinshu said lightly. Chen Yinhuo fell silent and did not speak. Trash is trash. No matter how you pretend, it's useless. Jiang Junlin also sneered, thinking that Lin Feng's behavior was simply stupid. I heard laughter around me. Tan Tianhong clenched his fists and looked ugly, but he didn't say much. For even he himself, I also don't believe that Lin Feng can heal such a devastating injury as a comminuted fracture in 3 minutes. This is so exaggerated. Lin Feng is a human being, not a fairy, but people have to follow common sense. Lin Xiao, am I really healed? Compared with everyone's reaction, Kaiwan is somewhat convinced. For after the initial excruciating pain, he found that he was indeed fine now. I don't feel any pain in my waist. It seems to be really healed. You can stand up and try. Lin Feng looked indifferent. Even though everyone around him was laughing and mocking, he didn't get angry at all. In his eyes, these people are just ants. A group of ants are screaming in your ears. You may trample to death, but you will never scold them. In fact, with his abilities, Kaiwan could be fully recovered on the spot, but that would waste a lot of spiritual energy, and he didn't think it was necessary. Kaiwan heard Lin Feng's words, put his hands on the ground, and stood up cautiously. Next moment, he stood up without any effort. I'm really healed? It doesn't hurt at all. Kaiwan was shocked. Then, jumped on the spot again. Still no pain. There's almost no difference from before. There is even a faint, turbulent current circulating in the meridians in the abdomen. Very itchy, very comfortable. Kaiwan burst into tears of joy instantly, knelt down on one knee, looked at Lin Feng excitedly, with tears in his eyes. Young Master Lin, your medical skills are amazing. Thank you. With his injuries just now, if it wasn't for Lin Feng, he would probably be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Therefore, Lin Feng has been kind to him for rebuilding. Just do it for me, Lin Feng said disapprovingly. Young Master Lin, don't worry. Whatever happens in the future, just tell me, Kaiwan said respectfully. See this scene. The field fell silent instantly. Everyone opened their mouths wide, looking shocked. The sneer on Cheng Yun and Cheng Kuan's faces gradually stiffened. Chen Qinshu looked surprised and was very puzzled. Jiang Junlin's face was expressionless, but his fists were clenched tightly. Obviously, his heart was extremely restless. On the other hand, Chen Yinhuo was very happy and said, Brother, have you seen it? Lin Feng is actually a capable person. Medical skills are only a plus point. As a man, you must have strong force. Otherwise, how can you protect the people around you? Chen Qinshu said lightly. Chen Yinhuo curled her lips and said nothing. She knew that her brother was also doing it for her own good. After all, Lin Feng did harm him very badly back then, so my brother naturally wouldn't have a good face towards Lin Feng. Young Master Lin, thank you this time. Tan Tianhong suppressed the shock in his heart, with a grateful expression on his face. He felt that he had already looked down upon Lin Feng enough, but he didn't expect that he still underestimated Lin Feng in the end. Lin Feng is a person who doesn't look like a mountain or dew, but he can break his cognition every time. This man until the last moment. You really can never see where his bottom line is. As if omnipotent. Omnipotent. It's really scary. At this time, boom, Cheng Kuan stomped hard on the ground. Shake the ground under your feet into a crack of 1 centimeter wide. Everyone's eyes were instantly attracted to him, and they all showed gloating looks. I forgot. Your medical skills are indeed excellent. But so what? The world of martial arts respects martial arts. If you can be cured once, others can beat you a second time until you are completely destroyed. Now, Chen Kuan of Fengyan Gang is obviously unhappy. Kuan, what are you doing? Cheng Yun asked intentionally. It's nothing. I just don't like some bastards just pretending in front of me. Cheng Kuan sneered again and again. Cheng Kuan, what do you mean you? Kai Wen's expression changed slightly, and he was about to scold. But when he saw Lin Feng beside him, he suddenly walked out. He came straight to Chen Kuan and asked calmly, "Do you think you are amazing? Better than you?" Boom! Lin Feng grabbed Chen Kuan's neck fiercely and lifted him up. The huge force made Chen Kuan's face turn purple instantly, like a chicken, kicking his legs in midair nonstop. "What?" Chen Kuan struggled violently and roared with all his strength, trying to break free, but it was no use at all. And this sudden scene instantly shocked everyone present. If Lin Feng had just cured Kaiwan, everyone could barely accept it. If he easily grabbed Chen Kuan's neck, everyone couldn't accept it. Chen Kuan is a leader in the martial arts world in Jinling City. Although he is at the peak of the profound realm, he is capable of fighting even against an early warrior in the ordinary realm. Such a being, how could it be impossible to fight back in front of Lin Feng? Things like ants are vulnerable to a single blow. Lin Feng spoke indifferently and exerted a little force with his right hand. Crack! Chen Kuan's neck broke at the sound. A trace of blood spilled from the corner of his mouth, and his whole body suddenly went limp. Wow! There was an uproar in the field. At this time, Cheng Yun roared hysterically. He never expected that Lin Feng would be so ruthless that he would kill his own Kuiner without hesitation. "Dog, I want you to die!" Cheng Yun roared angrily. Stomping on the ground with one foot, he shot at Lin Feng with his strength, wanting to avenge Cheng Kuan. Lin Feng sneered, "Throw Cheng Kuan's body at him." Boom! A muffled sound. The bodies of Cheng Yun and Cheng Kuan collided violently. Then, they flew out together and crashed heavily into a Humvee nearby, knocking the Humvee over a dozen times. "Fengyan gang, destroy it." Lin Feng looked indifferent. He came in front of Cheng Yun almost instantly and picked up Cheng Yun, who had already been seriously injured, when preparing to kill. But at this moment, a figure leaped down from the mountain and said coldly, "Stop me." Everyone came back to their senses and moved their eyes to look. When they saw the people coming, they all gasped. It turned out to be the deacon of Baiyin Chamber of Commerce. This moment, the arena was eerily quiet. The pupils of everyone in the field shrank slightly, and their hearts were overwhelmed. Never expected, at this critical moment, people from the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce will run down the mountain in person. This shows what? It shows that from the beginning of the conflict between Fengyan Gang and Sankaotang, the people of Baiyin Chamber of Commerce have noticed, but they didn't care. After all, this is under the mountain, not in the auction house. Moreover, it is normal for the two major forces to fight a little bit. But once someone dies, that makes a difference. You must know that the people who came to participate in the auction were all invited by the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce, and they had the invitation letter from the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce. At the door of the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce, kill the guests invited by the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce. This is undoubtedly slapping Baiyin Chamber of Commerce in the face. Obviously, the people of the Fengyan Gang know this truth well. So Chen Kuan is so cruel and arrogant. He just wants to abolish Kaiwan, and he won't kill him. Unexpectedly, suddenly, such an unruly person as Lin Feng appeared. Thought here. Everyone looked at Lin Feng with a hint of pity in their eyes. Have to say, Lin Feng's fighting power just now really surprised them. Killing Chen Kuan in a flash and defeating Cheng Yun with a sharp attack. But so what? No matter how strong he is, can he be stronger than a behemoth like Baiyin Chamber of Commerce? Although the branch of the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce in Jinling City has never been visible, no one would suspect that there are powerful people from the heavens sitting in it. I'm laughing to death. This kind of brainless idiot. I don't know what my last name is if I have some strength. How dare I kill someone at the gate of Baiyin Chamber of Commerce? Jiang Junlin gloated in his heart. Chen Qinshu looked at his sister and said, "Sister, I can take back what I said just now. This Lin Feng is quite capable. It's a pity that he seems to be a little out of his mind. Maybe Lin Feng can resolve the crisis," Chen Yinhua said in a low voice. Chen Qinshu laughed uncontrollably when he heard the words and said, "Sister, you have been studying abroad because you have no martial arts qualifications, so you may not understand some things in the martial arts world. This Baiyin Chamber of Commerce is not simple. Even if it is stronger than my Chen family, it is a taboo. Chun Ina bit her red lips when she heard the words and looked towards the field with a hint of worry in her eyes. Not a moment. The deacon of the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce came in front of everyone. It was a middle-aged man in a yellow robe. The eyes are sharp, not angry, although his cultivation base is only in the early stage of the realm, and he is not considered a top-level powerhouse. It made everyone present feel an inexplicable sense of oppression. Now, Huang Feilong's face was so gloomy that he was about to drip water. How many years? How many years have no one dared to act wild in front of the Chamber of Commerce? The last time someone dared to kill someone in front of their Chamber of Commerce was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, there is a martial artist at the top of the realm, relying on his strength to act recklessly. As a result, he was beheaded by the powerful in the Chamber of Commerce, and the grass on the grave has been mowed several times. Don't you know the rules of my Baiyun Chamber of Commerce? Huang Feilong came to a position not more than 1 meter away from Lin Feng and said coldly, "Hurry up and put Cheng Yin down." Lin Feng broke Cheng Yun's neck casually, threw the body on the ground, and said casually, "What rules? I really don't know. Why don't you tell me?" Sigh. See the scene? Everyone in the field gasped for an instant. I just feel that the whole person is stupid. What the fuck? Isn't this Nima dreaming? The deacons of the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce are here. Lin Feng actually dared to kill someone? And the tone is so indifferent and relaxed. Don't take it seriously. It was as if he didn't take Huang Feilong seriously at all. Doesn't he know how the word death is written? Tan Tianhong's eyes turned black. I just feel like my brain is blank. He knew Lin Feng's character strong, ruthless, and regarded human life as nothing. But he never expected that Lin Feng had become so arrogant. How? How did this happen? When you come by yourself. He clearly told Lin Xiao some precautions. Lin Xiao also agreed, saying that under normal circumstances he would not cause trouble. So what's going on now? And how should we end up? Tan Tianhong stood where he was. His whole body was numb. Good. Very good. Really good. I haven't seen such an arrogant young man like you for a long time. Huang Feilong laughed back in anger and said 3 good words in succession. And now you see? Lin Feng raised his eyelids. Tan Tianhong swallowed and hurriedly said, "No, that's not the case. Deacon Huang, you can also see that Cheng Yin took the initiative to provoke us, and we were passive." Tan Tianhong, it's not your turn to speak here. Huang Feilong interrupted Tan Tianhong coldly. Tan Tianhong's expression changed slightly when he heard the words, but he didn't dare to refute. He walked quickly to Lin Feng's side and said nervously, "Young Master Lin, I know you are very powerful, but Bai Yunshang is really not easy to mess with. We can't afford to mess with you." "You are wrong." Lin Feng raised his eyelids, looked at Huang Feilong, and said lightly, "It's you who can't afford to provoke, not me. What kind of Baiyun Chamber of Commerce, in my eyes? They're all chickens and dogs, vulnerable to a single blow." With this remark, shocking, everyone in the field was in an uproar. Tan Tianhong's body trembled and his lips squirmed, but he couldn't say anything. Huang Feilong's complexion was livid, and his body was already full of evil spirits. And right now, Lin Feng continued, "I'm a very reasonable person. Now that you've told me the rules, I have to tell you my rules too." Huang Feilong's complexion changed slightly when he heard the words. Just as he was about to say something, he realized that Lin Feng's hand was already grabbing towards him. Incredibly fast. Wait for him to react. Lin Feng had already strangled him by the neck and lifted him up. "You, what do you want to do? Put me down quickly." Huang Feilong's face turned red, and he scolded hard. While he was terrified, he felt unbelievable. Never thought that Lin Feng would dare to attack him. What kind of arrogance is this? What are the rules? In my eyes, strength is the rules. Lin Feng said something indifferently. Then, under the horrified eyes of everyone, Huang Feilong's neck was twisted. Crack! Huang Feilong's neck snapped at the sound. The light in the eyes gradually dissipated, and Lin Feng threw it on the ground like a dead dog. See this scene? All the expressions on the faces of the surrounding audience disappeared, leaving only dullness. Even Jiang Junlin, Chen Qinshu, and Chenino all looked absent-minded. Not to mention the three of Tan Tianong, Kaiwan, and Tianbin. Their legs and feet were so weak that they almost collapsed on the ground. Finished. Really finished. Does young Master Lin really not know how to be afraid? Just kill the members of the Fengyan gang. Even the deacon of Baiyin Chamber of Commerce dare to kill. What's more, the one who was killed was so straightforward that he didn't even give the other party a chance to beg for mercy. Let's just say kill. Just kill? This moment, the field fell into a deathly silence. No one can keep calm, and no one dares to speak at this moment. They are all silent, not daring to make a sound. And right now, clatter, clatter, clatter. A slight sound of footsteps came from not far away. The voice is weak and inaudible, but it has a special melody. As if beating on the hearts of everyone, it made everyone present almost suffocate. Master, this is definitely an unimaginable supermaster. Everyone trembled in their hearts and followed the footsteps. I found an old man walking slowly. Not slow. It just looks slow. In fact, the old man's speed is very fast. One step is more than 10 meters, giving people a feeling of shrinking the ground into an inch. Sigh. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Heaven. Absolutely a strong man in the sky. Obviously, this is a heaven realm expert from the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce. I saw the scene of Huang Feilong dying on the mountain, so I rushed here immediately. The old man has gray hair, a slightly stooped figure, and looks senile. But it is bright and amazing. It was as if there was a flame burning in the pupils. Lin Feng looked at the old man with great interest. Interesting. There is indeed a watershed between heaven and earth. He could tell at a glance that the inner strength in the old man's body had begun to transform into aura. Although the transformation is not much, only about 1/3 of it, but it is already very remarkable for a warrior. That is, a martial artist in the early days of the heaven realm is equivalent to a practitioner at the first level of qi refining? Lin Feng thought in his heart. Of course, this is just his guess, whether it is true or not. There are many ways to confirm it. Young man, which faction are you the descendant of? When the old man came to the field, he didn't attack directly, but asked aloud. His voice is so vicissitudes. Everyone in the field was awakened in an instant. A time. Everyone looked surprised. Yup, they were only concerned about being shocked by Lin Feng's arrogance just now. But they didn't think that Lin Feng might also have a terrible background. Moreover, this background is no worse than Baiyin Chamber of Commerce. Otherwise, how could he be so strong at such a young age? Chung Yun, who can kill the Fengyan gang. It shows that Lin Feng is at least at the peak of his land. Even half of 1 foot has stepped into the sky. This can definitely be called the evildoer among the evildoers. Sister, what is the origin of this Lin Feng? Chen Qinshu's expression became more dignified. From Lin Feng's several shots just now, he could feel Lin Feng's powerful strength. Not much worse than myself. One must know that he is the eldest son of the Chun family, with a peak status. Looking at the young generation in the entire Yinchuan area, their combat power is an absolute leader. I don't know either. Chenino was at a loss, but there is more joy in my heart. She thought of Lin Feng, who had been missing for 10 years. Could it be that he was really accepted as a disciple by some powerful force? You have been with him for 7 years, and you don't know his background? I really don't know. In my impression, he is just an ordinary person. Chen Qinshu didn't speak anymore, looked at Lin Feng. His eyes flickered slightly, and he didn't know what he was thinking. Jiang Junlin next to him looked gloomy. He just broke through to the early stage of the realm last night. It's time to be complacent. In the end, you told me that Lin Feng is already at the pinnacle of the world and has a strong background. And he also noticed Chen Qinshu's gradually friendly eyes. It is obvious that he has changed his mind towards Lin Feng. This is not a good thing. In terms of strength, the Jiang family is far inferior to the Chun family. The reason why the Chen family is willing to marry Chen Yinhua to him is because Chen Yinhua gave birth to a daughter out of wedlock and has a bad reputation. The second is because he is also very good, and he has a powerful sister who joined the sect on the mountain. If the Qin family finds that Lin Feng is no worse than him, for Xiao Lianlian's sake, the Qin family is obviously inclined to marry Qin Yinhua to Lin Feng. He knows very well, among big families, the most important thing is profit. What kind of relationship and friendship are just bullshit. But soon, Zhang Junlin's expression softened again. Because of Xiao Lianlian's illness, only the Dr. Yaoyan he found can cure her. A person like Chen Yinhua who loves his daughter as much as his life will naturally not let his daughter be alone. Therefore, Chen Yinhua still has to marry herself. But according to the situation, you have to stay away from Lin Feng in the future. There is no need to provoke him. At the same time, after Lin Feng thought for a while, he said lightly, "You think too much. I'm alone, and I have no power to back me up. Without the backing of power, how dare you kill me from the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce? Young man, I eat more salt than you eat, so don't treat me like a fool." The old man's eyes narrowed slightly. A coercion belonging to a strong man in the heaven overflowed from his body, pressing towards Lin Feng, wanting to give Lin Feng a blow first. Lin Feng couldn't help laughing. This coercion? Are you sure it's not a joke? He raised his eyelids, did nothing but glanced at the old man in the sky realm. Buzz! The old man in the sky realm instantly felt as if his heart had been violently hit by something. With a humming sound, can't help but take a few steps back. You are... The old man in Tianjing looked at Lin Feng in astonishment. A look, just a look. Not only did he defeat his aura, but he almost broke his heart. This level of strength is simply against the sky. This moment, he even suspected that Lin Feng was a figure above the heavenly realm. But how is this possible? What the old man in the sky doesn't know is... In fact, Lin Feng only used 1/10,000,000th of his coercion just now, because he didn't have the idea of killing the old man. Although Lin Feng is very strong, he is not a murderer. He will kill whoever he sees. The reason why Huang Feilong was killed just now was because Huang Feilong was too brainless and arrogant, which made him unhappy. On the other hand, this old man is very personable. It is obviously the kind of person who is cautious and knows how to advance and retreat. I didn't come up to attack myself without thinking, but I chose to ask myself the details first. Lin Feng did not dislike the behavior of the old man. This way, it just shows that the old man is a smart man. Get comfortable with dealing with smart people. Therefore, according to Lin Feng, keeping someone like the old man is far more effective than killing him. As predicted, after some thought, the old man in Tianjing took the initiative to come forward. His face became much more gentle, and he said, "This little friend is indeed a dragon and phoenix among men, but I was a little rude just now." Hearing the old man's words, Lin Feng said lightly, "Since you know it's disrespectful, you have to be more careful next time, or sometimes you're really dead if you die." The old man was startled when he heard this. Then a wry smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Unexpectedly, one day I would be taught a lesson by a junior. Which faction is this young man a disciple of? It's crazy. I don't have any temper at all. The old man has been taught. The old man in the sky realm nodded slightly, but he was not angry, because this is the rule of the martial arts world. As long as you have the strength, you can do whatever you want. This old man is Feng Hai, the third elder of the Jinling branch of the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce. I don't know what your name is, the old man asked with a smile. Lin Feng. Lin Feng replied lightly. Young Master Lin, what happened just now is that my Chamber of Commerce has been rude. In order to express my apology, I can arrange a private room for you. How about it? Can? Then come with me. Feng Hai breathed a sigh of relief, turned around, and walked up the mountain. He found that talking to Lin Feng felt an inexplicable sense of oppression. This feeling has never been felt before. Lin Feng was about to follow up, but found that Tan Tianhong and the other three were in a daze. So he couldn't help frowning and said, "What are you three in a daze for? You still haven't followed." "A goods." Tan Tianhong, Kai Wen, and Tianbin suddenly came back to their senses, suppressed the shock in their hearts, nodded quickly, and followed. And as soon as several people left, it was an extremely quiet scene. There was a bang. Everyone looks incredible. Fuck. Am I dreaming? This Lin Feng killed the deacon of the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce, and nothing happened. Didn't you notice? Elder Feng of Baiyin Chamber of Commerce came aggressively, but suddenly changed his attitude. He must have noticed Lin Feng's identity. In my opinion, this Lin Feng's background should not be underestimated. It is very likely that he came from a certain big sect on the mountain. This sect, even the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce, should be afraid of 3 points. It's no wonder you are so arrogant. I knew that he was already a strong man at the pinnacle of the realm at a young age. How could he be a simple person? You fools just laughed at others for being overconfident. Hey, I'm so envious of Sankaotang. I actually met such a big shot. I'm afraid I'm going to soar into the sky in the future. Didn't you find that Lin Feng is so handsome? And he has a very straight nose. Just one look. Hear the words of the people around you. Jiang Junlin clenched his fists, unable to calm down. He knew that he could not provoke Lin Feng again. Otherwise, it may bring disaster to the Jiang family. I'm really not reconciled. He was obviously an ant. Why did he suddenly become unable to deal with himself? Jiang Junlin looked a little unhappy. At this time, Chen Qinshu suddenly said, Sister, there are still a few hours before the auction starts. You and I will visit Lin Feng later. What? Chen Yinhua was a little surprised. Did she know that her brother hated Lin Feng very much? I take back all the words I said before. This Lin Feng is not simple. He can even make the elders of the Baiyin Chamber of Commerce respect him. I think it is necessary to communicate with him, which is also good for the development of our Chen family. Chen Qinshu's eyes moved slightly. It is good. Chen Yinhua nodded his head, pretending to be indifferent, but his heart was a little flustered and nervous. I want you to go. I won't go. Jiang Junlin said in a deep voice from the side. I didn't say that, and I didn't plan to call you. Chen Qinshu glanced at Jiang Junlin and said calmly. A cold look flashed across Jiang Junlin's eyes when he heard the words, but he didn't speak. At this time, not far away, came another domestic off-road car, Tank 700. It's the people from the Li family who have arrived. Li Rahai got out of the car with a few profound realm fighters and saw a group of people discussing something with great interest and couldn't help being startled. What's happening here? Why are they all chatting around the bottom of the mountain in full swing? What are you talking about? So happy. Li Rahai found an old friend and asked with a smile. Is such that? The old friend told what happened just now. When Li Rahai heard this, a gleam of light flashed across his eyes. A mysterious young man who convinced Baiyin Chamber of Commerce? He looks like he's in his 20s, but he's already at the pinnacle of cultivation? This is really awesome. Its background is probably far beyond my imagination. Now Li's family is green and yellow, and the sun is getting thinner, and it is getting more and more lonely. If you can get acquainted with this important person, there will definitely be a lot of benefits. And my daughter Xiaoka is also old and pretty. Maybe I can take this opportunity to match her up. Once caught by the opponent, thinking of this, Li Rahai immediately made a decision to visit this mysterious young man later. It's good to be familiar. In fact, it's not just Li Rahai and Chen Qinshu. The leaders of other forces in the field all have this idea. If a big power and a big family want to develop, they must constantly make friends with people who are helpful to them. Especially make friends with those higher-level characters. Often it only takes a word from the big figures at the top, and their power can soar into the sky. In fact, many people come here to participate in the auction, just for this purpose. The other side, under the leadership of Feng Hai, Lin Feng, and the others came to the interior of the auction house. The entire auction house is built in Nuada's mountain. Take the elevator outside and descend more than 10 meters to reach the auction hall. The hall has 2 floors. The upper one is a reinforced concrete cantilevered terrace. There are many boxes built on the balcony, and the outside of the box is equipped with that kind of one-way perspective glass. This kind of glass allows people inside the box to see the scene outside clearly, but people outside can't see the inside clearly. below the cantilevered terrace. On the other hand, countless leather sponge seats are neatly set up, and in front of the seats is a booth with an area of dash-to-dash square meters. Now, there are already many people in the hall. They are all the dignitaries of Jinling City and nearby. They gathered together in groups of 2s and 3s, exchanged enthusiasm, made friends, and had a great time. Through the noisy hall, Feng Hai took Lin Feng and the others directly to a box on the second floor. The area of the box is more than 100 square meters, and there are various luxurious objects displayed. Standing inside, you can take the entire auction venue into your eyes, and the view is excellent. Is this the Tianzhou box? Tan Tianhong glanced at the luxurious box and couldn't help but say. Although he participated in many auctions, he was still arranged in an ordinary box. He didn't even dare to think about this kind of private box. As far as he knows, only those super big men are eligible to come in. For example, a master of the sect on the mountain, or a strong man in the heavenly realm in the mundane world. That's right. There are 3 boxes in Tianzhou, and the other 2 have already been booked. Fortunately, there is one left. Otherwise, I would not be able to arrange it. Feng Hai smiled slightly. Tan Tianhong nodded when he heard the words, but his heart was overwhelmed. He knew it was all because of Lin Feng. Otherwise, as Feng Hai, he wouldn't even talk to him, let alone explain it. Suddenly, there is some pride in my heart. It seems that being young Master Lin's lackey is also pretty good. Pooh, I'm so cheap. Tan Tianhong shook his head and hurriedly put this idea into his mind. Young Master Lin, the auction starts at -frowny-face-PM. You guys should take a break first and have some snacks or something. I still have things to do, so I won't disturb you for now. Feng Hai looked at Lin Feng with a smile. Wait a minute, I have something to ask you, Lin Feng said. Feng Hai looked startled, then nodded and said, but it's okay to ask. Which level of the heaven do you belong to now? Lin Feng asked. About this question, Feng Hai didn't think much about it, because in the world of martial arts, if you don't take the initiative to release all your breath, under normal circumstances, it is difficult for others to see your true strength. I'm not talented. Now I'm at the 3rd level of Hotian realm. Feng Hai replied. The 3rd floor of the day after tomorrow? Isn't it the heaven realm? Lin Feng was a little surprised. Hearing the words, Feng Hai glanced at Lin Feng strangely. You, a person who is stronger than me? Don't you even know the most basic common sense? After thinking for a moment, he said, actually, the world's heavenly realm is just a general concept. The heavenly realm is further divided into acquired and innate. The acquired realm has 9 levels, and the innate realm has 9 levels. Each level is a big upgrade, and it is a process of transforming the human body's internal strength into the power of heaven and earth. So, the heaven realm and the earth realm are a watershed. Earth realm is to connect the 2 veins of Ren and Du and cultivate the internal strength of the human body. After reaching the heaven realm, it is to communicate with the power of heaven and earth and start to transform the inner strength. Feng Hai explained to Lin Feng in detail. After Lin Feng listened, he was thoughtful. The so-called power of heaven and earth should be aura. And since this Feng Hai is at the 3rd level of acquired heaven, it should be equivalent to the 3rd level of qi refining. It's just that it evolved from martial arts, so its overall strength is actually weaker than that of the 3rd level practitioners of qi refining. I didn't expect that the limit of martial arts would evolve towards the direction of cultivation. It's beyond my expectation. Perhaps it is because the aura of heaven and earth is exhausted and cultivation is difficult. So the ancient cultivators found another way. Thinking of this, Lin Feng suddenly lost interest in martial arts. I don't know, young Master Lin. What state is it now? At this time, Feng Hai suddenly asked. He stared at Lin Feng with a pair of eyes, his face full of curiosity. In his opinion, Lin Feng must be stronger than himself. Perhaps it has reached the late stage of the acquired state, not even innate realm. Tan Tianhong and the other 3 beside him also pricked up their ears, showing curiosity. I'm not a warrior, Lin Feng said lightly. Feng Hai was taken aback. Immediately thinking that Lin Feng was unwilling to tell him, he couldn't help but feel a little helpless. Since that's the case, I won't bother you for now. Young Master Lin can enjoy some food on the table to his heart's content. Feng Hai nodded slightly and then exited the box. After Feng Hai left, Lin Feng walked to a massage chair, lay down, closed his eyes, and rested his mind, waiting for the auction to start. At this time, bang, 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 there was a knock on the door of the box. Boom! Tan Tianhong immediately stood up and asked, "It's me, Li Rahai from the Li family, who heard about young Master Lin's name. Came to pay a special visit." Li Rahai's respectful voice came from outside the door. "Li Rahai? This is one of the three major families, the second in command of the Li family. Why is he here?" Tan Tianhong was a little surprised. However, he did not dare to open the door without authorization, but turned his questioning gaze to Lin Feng. "Let him go," Lin Feng said lightly. However, what happened at the gate of Jinling University not long ago could not help appearing in his mind. This Li Ruhai is very pretentious, still throwing down 2,000 million to keep yourself away from Li Xiaoka, just like a mentally handicapped. Tan Tianhong was a little stunned when he heard Lin Feng's words, but he still said as he said, "Li Ruhai, we, young Master Lin, let you go." "What?" Li Ruhai, who was standing outside the door, looked bewildered. "What's the situation? I came to visit with good intentions. Even if you don't like it, you won't let yourself go, right?" No wonder everyone said that young Master Lin was extremely arrogant. Sure enough, Li Ruhai was a little angry in his heart, feeling humiliated, but he didn't dare to say anything, so he could only respond in a low voice. Not far from the corridor, there is a group of people standing. They all came up with Li Ruhai, and they were going to visit Lin Feng, so they looked familiar. Seeing such a scene at this moment, "Everyone, you look at me, I look at you." Feeling a little guilty. "Do you want to go there?" Even the head of the Li family was humiliated. They want to knock on the door at this moment, and it is estimated that the end will be even worse. "This Lin Feng is a bit arrogant, sister. I'll rely on you later." Chen Qinshu looked at Chen Yinhua and said in a low voice. Chen Yinhua's expression was complicated when he heard the words, and he didn't know what to say. Never imagined that such a scene would usher in 10 years later. When she was with Lin Feng back then, Lin Feng was just a small person. She mustered up the courage to go up and knock on the door. Just as he was about to say something, he heard Lin Feng's indifferent voice from inside. "I'll let you go. Don't you understand?" Chen Yinhua was stunned. Immediately, her pretty face turned red, and she began to gnash her teeth. "Dead Lin Feng, smelly Lin Feng, how dare you kill me?" See this scene. All the people watching around had gloating expressions on their faces. There is the example of Li Ruhai first. This woman dares to go up to her. This is a typical case of seeking abuse. But at this moment, the compartment door was opened. "Yahello, why are you here?" Lin Feng came out with a look of surprise. He just felt a familiar aura, so he casually swept it with his divine sense. It turned out that it was Yinhua standing outside the door. "Why? Didn't you tell me to go?" Chen Yinhua was a little angry. "Misunderstanding. I'm not telling you to leave. I'm telling Li Ruhai to leave," Lin Feng said helplessly. "Oh shit." Li Ruhai not far away looked a little ugly. "In plain sight, so humiliating me. Li Ruhai, don't want to lose face?" But when he saw Lin Feng's face, his heart was shocked again. Isn't this the young man who saved Xiaoko before? How could it be him? When Li Ruhai was in doubt, Chen Qinshu strode forward and said with a smile, "Young Master Lin, do you still remember me? Let's talk first." Lin Feng glanced at Chen Qinshu. Then he forcibly took Chen Yinhua's hand and pulled him into the box. Inside the box, after several people sat down, Lin Feng said happily, "Yinhua, why did you come to me? Let go of my hand first. Don't let it go." "You?" Chen Yinhua was a little annoyed. She struggled hard, but found that she couldn't struggle at all. She blushed, and her heart was beating wildly. There was a long-lost sweet feeling. As if returning to 10 years ago, the two hid in the grove in the school and loved each other. "Young Master Lin, in front of me, isn't it bad for you to treat my sister like this?" Chen Qinshu looked a little ugly. That's it. Then you get out. This way it won't be counted in front of you, Lin Feng said lightly. Chen Qianxu's face froze when he heard this, and a cold look flashed across his eyes. This Lin Feng, is it a little too arrogant? Do you think my Chun family is those trash from the Fengyan gang? Lin Feng, he's my brother, be careful. Chen Yinhua pouted. All right. Lin Feng nodded helplessly. Lin Feng is not afraid of anything. He regards human life as worthless and regards all living beings as ants. But he is the only one who is very soft-hearted towards the woman in front of him. Not licking the dog, but feel guilty. I feel that I owe Inuo a lot. Tell me, what's your business with me? Lin Feng looked at Chen Qianxu. How do you know that I have something to do with you? Chen Qianxu narrowed his eyes slightly. Are you out of your mind? You didn't come to me because of something. Could it be that you came to chat with me and brag? If this is the case, Inuo stays, you can go. I'm not interested in chatting with you, Lin Feng said lightly. Chen Qianxu clenched his fists upon hearing this. Can't communicate like this anymore. Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't be able to resist punching Lin Feng to death. Which faction are you from? Chen Qianxu asked. No sect, no sect. Do you really think I have no brains? Do you think I will believe you when you say such a thing? Chen Qianxu sneered. Lin Feng glanced at Chen Qianxu, then said lightly, Okay, you have a brain. You are very smart. You guessed it right, I come from a superpower. What do you want to do? Finally telling the truth? The corner of Chen Qianxu's mouth showed a slight arc, and then said, I know what happened between you and my sister. If you still want to be with my sister, I can help you, but I have one condition. Lin Feng's expression suddenly turned cold, and he said, Do you think you're funny? Otherwise, let me tell you, now my sister has an engagement with Zhang's family, and my parents are very satisfied with Jiang Junlin. Without me, you would never want to be with my sister. Chen Qianxu liked to see Lin Feng's angry look. This made him feel like he was back at home. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the Jiang family will be gone soon. Lin Feng calmed down. What do you mean? Chen Qianxu frowned. Jiang Junlin wanted to assassinate me before. So when I cure Xiao Lianlian tomorrow, when the Jiang family is destroyed, no one will be left behind. Lin Feng's words were very calm, but it made the hearts of several people in the room overwhelmed. Good half sound. Chen Qianxu let out a mouthful of turbid air, chuckled and said, Do you have any misunderstandings about the Jiang family? The Jiang family is not as simple as you think. I don't know if I have misunderstood the Jiang family, but you must have misunderstood me. Lin Feng grabbed the teacup on the table. Visible to the naked eye, a cluster of spiritual energy suddenly emerged, directly burning the teacup into a ball of powder. See this scene. Chen Qianxu's pupil shrank, and he lost his voice, saying in shock, Inner strength transforms into form. Are you an innate warrior? You are wrong. I am not an innate warrior, Lin Feng said lightly. Hearing this, Chen Qianxu also reacted. I couldn't help but shook my head, feeling that I really lost my composure just now. Indeed, how could Lin Feng be an innate warrior at such a young age? I guess it's just some heresy tricks I know. Chen Qianxu let out a foul breath, stood up, and said in a deep voice, Lin Feng, I don't know which sect on the mountain you come from, but I said that the Jiang family is not as simple as you think. There is a person in the Jiang family. Even you can't afford to offend him. I can tell you very clearly that the reason why my Chen family is willing to marry the Jiang family is because of that person. So, if you can really destroy the Jiang family without dying, even without my help, my father will take the initiative to betroth my sister to you. Chen Qianxu turned around and said, Also, there is one more thing that you definitely don't know. What's up? Lin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly. One thing that is enough to drive you crazy. Chen Qianxu said something meaningful. Before Lin Feng could reply, he said in a deep voice, Sister, let's go. Chen Yinhua glanced at Lin Feng, stood up silently, and left the box with his brother. This time, Lin Feng didn't stop him. After all, no matter what, Chen Qianxu is Chen Yinhua's own brother, just like his relationship with Xiaoyao. There is no need to make it too rigid. After the two left, Tan Tianhong said with some anxiety, Young Master Lin, Do you really want to destroy the Jiang families? Otherwise, the Jiang family will die tomorrow. The whole family must be neat and tidy. No one can save them if they come. Lin Feng replied coldly. Tan Tianhong's heart trembled when he heard this, and he stopped talking. He knows something big is going to happen tomorrow. Tan Tianhong, what did you mean when Qin Qinshu left just now? Lin Feng showed doubts and said to himself, I really can't figure it out. Is there anything that can drive me crazy? With Lin Xiao's character, I think this matter must have something to do with Chun Yinhua. Tan Tianhong said, That's all. Everything will be revealed tomorrow, and there is no need to think too much. Lin Feng rubbed his eyebrows and lay down again. The other side, Qin Qinshu and Chun Yinhua had just returned to the dizzy box to which the Jiang family belonged. Zhang Junlin rushed up and asked with a bad expression, Why did you stay for so long? What did you guys chat with that Lin Feng? Just chatting casually, Qin Qinshu said lightly. In fact, his emotions are still biased towards Lin Feng, because he knew that his sister liked Lin Feng very much. Otherwise, he would not have had a child for her. So he waited for 10 years. The reason why he was indifferent to Lin Feng before was because he felt that Lin Feng was not good enough for his sister. But now that he has seen Lin Feng's strength, his mentality is obviously changing. Just chatting casually? Talking for so long? Zhang Junlin couldn't believe it. This should have nothing to do with you, right? It's not your turn to dictate what I do. Qin Qinshu sneered. Zhang Junlin clenched his fists when he heard the words, his expression livid. He looked at Chun Yinhua fiercely and said, Yinhua, I know you must still be attached to this Lin Feng in your heart. But let me tell you, only I can save Xiao Yinlian. You'd better not do something that makes me unhappy at this time. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. Chun Yinua's complexion paled instantly when he heard the words. Little love. It's the only weakness in her heart. After a moment of silence, Chun Yinua said, Tomorrow Lin Feng will go to the hospital to see Xiao Lianlian. Maybe he can be cured. It's just him? Do you think it's possible? Kabuki syndrome is a world-class, intractable disease. Even Dr. Yao Yun finds it difficult. He can cure it with a bone grafter. Zhang Junlin said disdainfully. You don't have to tell me this. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Chun Yinua didn't plan to speak anymore. Seeing this, Zhang Junlin's heart sank a little. Everything was well arranged. In the end, all the plans were disrupted because of the sudden appearance of that bastard Lin Feng. Lin Feng, don't force me. Otherwise, even if you are a warrior in the heavenly realm, I will find a way to kill you. Zhang Junlin roared in his heart. The time passed by every minute and every second, and it was almost 7 o'clock in the evening. Under the brief introduction of the auctioneer, the auction officially begins. Item after item was brought up for auction. They are all famous antique paintings, dilapidated samurai swords, and some elixirs that are so dark that they have no aura and have expired at first sight. For these things, Lin Feng just glanced casually in boredom, then withdrew his gaze and said lightly, Is this the auction of the 100 Yuan Chamber of Commerce? Why are they all tasteless things? Young Master Lin, your vision is too high. These are all good things. Tan Tianhong smiled wryly and said, For example, the picture of 100 birds facing a phoenix is Tang Yin's original work. It is very popular with some old monsters. It is the most suitable gift for you. Another example is that samurai sword. It looks old, but it cuts iron like mud. For warriors who are good at wielding swords, it is definitely like a tiger with wings. There is also that bottle of Xiaohuandan. Don't look ugly. It is actually a treasure in the world. There are almost no people who can refine this kind of pill in this world. What you said is right. Lin Feng didn't argue. After all, everyone thinks differently and sees things differently. 10 yuan is rare for a beggar, but for a billionaire, it is estimated that he would not bother to pick it up if he dropped it on the ground. At this time, the auctioneer on the stage said loudly, The next auction is a broken cloth scroll. This statement came out. The many martial artists in the audience suddenly became noisy. Broken cloth scroll? What the hell is this? That's right. I have participated in many auctions, and this is the first time I have seen this broken cloth scroll. It's not just rubbish. Bayun Chamber of Commerce is deliberately using it to adjust the atmosphere? Strange. Why would the Bayun Chamber of Commerce put this kind of thing up for auction? It seems worthless. In Tianzi number 3 box, Tan Tianhong was also puzzled. Because of the large screen projection, everyone can clearly see the shape of the cloth roll. It looks like an oil-stained cloth. There is not a word on it, and it would be too useless to use it as a rag. Only Lin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly, staring at the cloth scroll, thoughtful. Everyone, be quiet first. Listen to my introduction, and you will know, the auctioneer on the stage said with a smile. He was not surprised by the crowd's reaction, because even he feels that this kind of thing has no value. It's just a joke. If it weren't for the strength of the person who brought this cloth scroll to auction, it is impossible for the Chamber of Commerce to put this thing up for auction. It really disgraces the Chamber of Commerce. Although this object looks ugly, its material is very extraordinary. It can't be submerged in water. It can't be burned by fire. Even with a cutting machine, it is difficult to chop it up. Our Chamber of Commerce has thought of many ways, but there is no way to break it down. The auctioneer introduced with a smile. So, what's the use of it? Shall we take it home and use it as a rag? Someone immediately teased and asked. With this remark, the audience suddenly burst into laughter. The auctioneer shook his head helplessly. Without further introduction, he said loudly, "The starting price for this item is dash. If you are interested, you can auction it. 10,000 more for this thing?" Many warriors were speechless when they heard the words. One piece is too much for them. Scene. It was cold in an instant. No one is willing to bid. After all, no one is a fool. Although they have money, there is no need to waste it. Besides, whoever spends dash to buy this thing will probably be ridiculed to death. Is there no bid? The auctioneer asked with a smile. Although it feels embarrassing, the process that should go must go on. That's it. After another 10 seconds or so, there was still silence. At the same time, in Tianzi number 1 box, there was a haggard old man in black, with his hands behind his back, standing in front of the one-way glass floor-to-ceiling windows, watching everything in the field silently. If you look carefully, you will find that this old man is extremely unfathomable. There is a vague aura that pervades the body surface. No one knows. The old man in black looked a little disappointed. He has participated in many auctions all over the country with this cloth scroll. Before, there were a few rich and powerful people who spent money to buy it. He went to the door excitedly. After some pressing, the other party actually said that he was just a fool with a lot of money. Just for fun, he was so angry that he wiped out the whole family of those people, and even shot the dog to death. It seems that no one in Jinling City knows about it. I have to go to other places to try. The old man in black muttered to himself. However, at this time, I'll pay dash. A faint voice spread throughout the audience through the loudspeaker in the box. This statement came out. Everyone in the field showed astonishment on their faces. They all followed the sound and looked away. Damn it! It turned out to be the price offered by the person in Tianzi number 3 box. What a fool with so much money. I know that the person in this box is the young man in white who swept the Invincible at the foot of the mountain before. Well, it seems called Lin Feng, followed by the word Lin Feng. The audience fell silent instantly, and no one dared to laugh out loud. What happened at the foot of the mountain just now has already spread. Everyone knew that this young man named Lin Feng was not only able to easily kill the powerful, but also gained the attention of Elder Feng of the Bayun Chamber of Commerce. Who dares to discuss such a mysterious and unpredictable figure? Inside Tianzi number 3 box, young Master Lin, why did you buy this thing? Tan Tianhong asked puzzledly. 1 yuan is not expensive, so buy it for fun. Lin Feng didn't explain too much, because he is not sure if this thing is what he thinks now. Once on the mountain, the old man trained him in all aspects. In addition to setting up formations, making talismans, refining medicine, swordsmanship, etc., there are also some anecdotes and miscellaneous things in the ancient cultivation world which will also be told to him. The old man said, in the ancient world of self-cultivation, there was a fierce beast named Meow Meow. Lao Meow has a tiger head and an ox body, for hooves, 1 horn, a voice like thunder, and loves water. She often lives in mountains and rivers. Its skin cannot be submerged in water, cannot be burned by fire, and everything is hard to break. The most important thing is that if you write words on Yu Miao's skin, the text will quickly hide, and you must use a special material to make it manifest. Because of this special property, some great masters in the realm of comprehension like to use Miao Miao skins to record their understanding of Taoism, supernatural powers, and spells, as well as some wonderful recipes. Of course, this is all from ancient times. At that time, the cultivation civilization was flourishing. Not only cultivators could be seen everywhere, but also all kinds of fierce beasts that were nourished by the spiritual energy of the world and produced spiritual wisdom emerged in endlessly. But now the ferocious beast has basically disappeared, almost invisible. Maybe there are still some left in some deep mountains and old forests, but definitely not many. Therefore, Lin Feng suspected that this worn-out cloth scroll was a piece of skin. There may be some kind of self-cultivation technique recorded on it. If it is true, then it will make money. At this time, a faint voice broke the peace in the arena. 10,000 is too little. I will offer 1 million. With this remark, wow, there was an uproar in the audience. Everyone was stunned. What's the situation? There are still people bidding? Isn't this thing still a baby? They looked away and found that it was the person from Dizzy number 2 box who made the price. Isn't this the Jiang family's box? In Dizzy number 2 box, Jiang Junlin was lying on the massage chair, looking at the auction table outside. A faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Jiang Junlin, what do you mean? Buy this for 100 million? Are you sick? Chen Yinhua said with some displeasure. Can't you? I have a lot of money, and I like something, so I can't bid yet. Jiang Junlin said lightly. You don't like it. Your purpose is to discuss Lin Feng, right? Chen Yinhua said coldly. So what? I just hate him. He's so powerful. I can't beat him, but my Jiang family has plenty of money. He wants something, but I won't let him do it. Jiang Junlin sneered. Now that the matter has developed to this point, he is not willing to pretend anymore. You are really unreasonable, Chen Yinhua said angrily. Don't tell me these things. If Lin Feng wants it, he can ask for a price. As long as he has more money than me, I can give it to him, Jiang Junlin said expressionlessly. At this time, 200 million. Lin Feng's voice spread throughout the audience. 1,000 million. Jiang Junlin said disdainfully. He stood up and said aloud, This thing is a treasure, and I am bound to get it. No matter who grabs it from me, I will not give up easily. If you have the ability, please come and bid with me. My Jiang family has money, and it is worth anyone's money. This statement came out. Many warriors in the field suddenly became suspicious. Is it a baby? They looked at the screen projection carefully, trying to find out what happened. But no matter how you look at it, it doesn't look like a baby. Even the auctioneer on the stage was a little surprised. He knew that the person in Dizzy number 2 box was Jiang Junlin, the son of the Jiang family, so he shouldn't lie. Is this thing really good? It's just that the appraiser at their auction house didn't see it. At the same time, inside Tianzi number 1 box, the expression of the old man in black suddenly became agitated. He was ready to leave, but he didn't expect a big surprise at the critical moment. Jia, I finally found someone who knows this thing. I don't know what kind of power this Jiang family is. The young man who made the quotation has an arrogant tone and looks very powerful. Forget it no matter what. Since you recognize this cloth scroll, then I must thank you very much. The old man in black looked sadly at the direction of Dizzy number 2 box. His eyes shone with a strange light, as if he could see Jiang Junlin's appearance. Inside Tianzi number 3 box, Lin Feng looked at the outside with a blank expression. He didn't believe that Jiang Junlin knew about the function of Yu Miaopi. The reason why I say this is just to find a suitable reason to discuss myself. Seeing that Lin Feng fell silent, Tan Tianhong thought that Lin Feng had no money, so he stepped forward and said, Young Master Lin, just ask for the price. I still have some money here. No need. Just give it to him. Anyway, you can get it back when the time comes. Lin Feng shook his head. Then he said lightly into the microphone in front of him, Since you think it's a treasure, let me give it to you. You are really beyond my expectations for buying such a crap for 1,000 million. Really? You think it's a broken thing. It's just that you don't know the goods. Zhang Junlin naturally wouldn't admit defeat at this time, and said in a tone that if you don't understand, don't pretend. This made Lin Feng a little surprised. Did Zhang Junlin really know now Miaopi? If this is the case, it means that the Zhang family should not be underestimated. Maybe there is also a cultivator behind it? Inside Tianzi #1 box, the old man in black was already shaking with excitement. He wanted to look up to the sky and laugh, and immediately rushed to Dizzy #2 box, arrested Zhang Junlin, beat him up, and then forced him to find out the origin of the worn-out cloth scroll. But after thinking about it, he still endured it. Although everyone here is rubbish, no one is his enemy. But after all, this is the territory of Baiyun Chamber of Commerce, so we still have to give the other party a face. The two leaders of the Baiyun Chamber of Commerce, I still can't afford to provoke them. Auctioneer, since no one is willing to bid, why don't you hurry up and set a price for the deal? What's so good about it? At this time, Zhang Junlin said lightly. His tone was very proud, like a victorious rooster. Oh, well. The auctioneer came back to his senses and said with a smile, 1,000 million once, 1,000 million times, 1,000 million 3 times a deal. Congratulations to young Master Jiang for getting this treasure. After the last sentence fell, everyone in the field came back to their senses. It always feels a little unreal. It's just such a broken thing that sold 1,000 million. Isn't it really a baby? Thinking of this, everyone regretted not bidding just now. Soon, Yu Miaopi was brought to Zhang Junlin by a Chongsam maid from the auction house. After Zhang Junlin swiped the card, he picked up the old man's skin and began to ponder it carefully. After all, it was bought for 1,000 million yuan, so you still have to take a good look at it. Maybe it was really picked up by myself? Don't look 1,000 million to buy such a crap. You were simply mentally handicapped. Chun Yinhua couldn't help but mocked. Originally, she still thought that Zhang Junlin had some manners and was an honest gentleman. But after what happened just now, she really hated Zhang Junlin. How could there be such a disgusting man in the world? Better still, Lin Feng. Although Lin Feng disappeared for 10 years for no reason, after returning, he was as gentle to himself as ever. He looks ruthless in front of everyone, but he is naive in front of himself. You do not understand. Zhang Junlin held back the anger in his heart and said in a deep voice. Although he didn't see the use of this rag roll, his strong self-esteem did not allow him to admit this fact. I don't understand. So, what do you mean? Chun Yinhua sneered. This is very likely to be an animal skin from the Stone Age, and it is very valuable for collection. Zhang Junlin made up a random reason, but looked away, not wanting to communicate with Chun Yinhua anymore. As time passed by, the auction was drawing to a close. Period. Chen Qinshu spent -million yuan to buy an iceberg snow lotus. This is used to treat Xiao Lianlian's disease. It is also the purpose of their coming here this time. Seeing that he successfully bought the iceberg snow lotus, Chen Yinhua breathed a sigh of relief. The daughter is her lifeblood. No matter what, she wanted to cure her daughter's illness. And right now, said the auctioneer loudly. The next thing is the finale of this auction spirit bomb. I believe everyone is aware of the role of the spirit bomb. I won't introduce them one by one. There are 3 spirit bombs this time. The starting price is 1,000 million, and each increase must not be less than -million. Everyone can bid. Listen to the auctioneer. Many people in the field showed expressions of emotion. The spirit bomb contains the power of heaven and earth. Once it explodes, it can threaten the strong in the sky. Having this thing can definitely greatly protect your own safety. I offer -million. I pay 5,000 million. 300 million. Everyone in the field bid one after another. It can be seen that the spirit bomb is indeed popular in the martial arts world, and the quotation has reached -million in a short period of time. That's almost -million once. 400 million. At this time, Lin Feng made a faint sound. He is bound to win the spiritual bomb. Next to him, Tan Tianhong looked at the balance in his bank card and felt a little pained, but he didn't say much. Billion. Jiang Junlin was waiting for Lin Feng. Seeing Lin Feng bid at this moment, follow the price immediately. However, he seemed to be afraid that Lin Feng would make trouble for him, so he laughed loudly and said, I finally met it. I wanted to buy a spirit bomb a long time ago. Following Jiang Junlin's bid, the venue fell silent for an instant. Everyone looked at each other in blank dismay. Some couldn't understand. Although spirit bombs are rare, their market value is only around -million. Why did you buy it at a unit price of more than 3 million? Ill? This Jiang Junlin is definitely sick, and he is seriously ill. 11 billion. Lin Feng said with a blank face. Hey, I really want to give it to you, but I need this spirit bomb too much, so I can only give 12 billion. Jiang Junlin said pretendingly. Since you need the bomb so much, I'll give it to you. Anyway, what's yours is mine. It's all the same, Lin Feng said lightly. Jiang Junlin's face darkened when he heard the words, and he thought about the meaning of Lin Feng's words. What do you mean is mine? How does this sentence sound weird? As soon as the auction is over, Jiang Junlin was the first to walk outside, wanting to leave here quickly. During the period, many people he knew greeted him, but he ignored them. He heard a trace of unusual information from Lin Feng's words. I feel that Lin Feng is likely to attack himself, and with his current strength in the early stage of the realm, he is not Lin Feng's opponent, so he has to avoid it. Chun Yinhua and Chun Qinshu hesitated for a moment, but also followed. After all, Dr. Yaoyan will have to treat Xiao Lianlian tomorrow, so it is naturally impossible to fall out with Jiang Junlin now. With Jiang Junlin taking the lead to leave, other people in the auction also chose to leave one after another. Quickly, the venue, which was still very lively, became deserted. Tan Tianhong looked at the time. It was already past 9 o'clock in the evening, so he stepped forward and said with a smile, Young Master Lin, shall we go too? Let's go first. I still have something to do. Lin Feng said lightly. Young Master Lin, you don't mean to? Tan Tianhong swallowed. From his point of view, Lin Feng probably wanted to chase after Jiang Junlin and rob Jiang Junlin, so as to get the spirit bomb back. The Jiang family will go to clean up tomorrow. I have other things to do now, Lin Feng said. Tan Tianhong swallowed his saliva when he heard the words and didn't dare to ask more questions. After saying hello to Lin Feng, he left with Kai Wen and Tian Bin. After the three left, Lin Feng scanned the auction venue with his spiritual sense, found a direction, and walked over quickly. Soon, he came to an office behind the auction venue. Inside the office, Feng Hai was whispering something to a beautiful woman in a black silk cheongsam. Seeing Lin Feng coming in, he immediately stood up in embarrassment and said, Young Master Lin, why are you here? While embarrassed, I also had some doubts in my heart. The location of his office is very secret. It is where he usually sleeps. How did Lin Feng find it? It should not be informed by other people in the Chamber of Commerce. Because if this is the case, the people from the Chamber of Commerce will definitely notify themselves in advance to prepare themselves. Old Feng, you are really old and strong. Lin Feng glanced at the beauty in the black silk cheongsam and said calmly, Cough, cough. Feng Hai blushed, coughed lightly, and then said sternly to the black silk beauty, Don't hurry up. Next time if you can't complete the performance, don't do it here. Ah, I know, I got it. The beauty in the black silk cheongsam straightened her clothes in a panic and hurried out of the office. Watching the beauty leave, Feng Hai's expression turned natural, and he explained with a smile, Young Master Lin, don't get me wrong, this little girl just came here. She's not sensible. I just reprimanded her in my free time. Then, he beckoned Lin Feng to sit down and poured tea himself. Everyone is a man, so don't explain it to me. You know everything you need to know. I came to you to ask something, Lin Feng said. Young Master Lin, but it's okay to say. Feng Hai's expression became solemn. Where did your Chamber of Commerce get that spiritual bomb? Do you know someone who specializes in making this thing? Lin Feng asked. This spirit bomb is actually made of jade. Most of the goods come in from Yinchuan, where stone gambling is popular, and some stone gambling places can often cut out jade for making spirit bomb. If young Master Lin wants this, You can go to Yinchuan to look for it. Feng Hai told everything he knew. These things are not secrets. There is no need to hide them. Lin Feng's heart moved when he heard this. When he was in college, he read some urban novels which mentioned the plot of gambling with stones. Some powerful protagonists can often cut some good things out of some rough stone embryos. Among them, there is no shortage of top-grade spirit stones and the like. Unexpectedly, there is such a saying in the real world. It seems that I really have to take some time to go to Yinchuan. I have another question. Who put the worn-out piece of cloth at the auction just now? Lin Feng asked again. Hear this question? Feng Hai suddenly looked a little nervous and said with a dry smile, Young Master Lin, why are you asking this? It's okay, I'm just curious. Just tell me the truth. Lin Feng said lightly. It's just an ordinary warrior brought up for auction. Nothing special. Feng Hai said. Lin Feng glanced at Feng Hai, suddenly changed his words, and said lightly, Old Feng, although you are an acquired martial artist, your physical strength doesn't seem to be very good. Is it caused by excessive sexual indulgence when you were young? Could it be that you can't last for a few seconds doing that kind of thing now? Young Master Lin Yu? Feng Hai was a little shocked. He did have this problem, but he never told anyone about it. So how did Lin Feng know? Have you forgotten the scene where I was at the foot of the mountain helping people renew their bones? I'm a medical practitioner, and I've done a lot of research. Lin Feng glanced at Feng Hai and said again, I'm not in ink with you anymore. Your condition is called Linmin Xie in Chinese medicine. The world can help you cure it. Apart from me, there is probably no other one. Answer the question I just asked honestly, and I can consider helping you. Feng Hai was shocked when he heard this. Thank you at the door? This word, for his symptoms, really fits the image very well. He hesitated for a moment. Feng Hai lowered his voice and said, Young Master Lin, I can tell you, but you must not spread this matter, otherwise not only you, but I will also die. Just say it. Lin Feng said. That's right, that piece of cloth was auctioned by an old monster, just to find someone who can recognize it. Feng Hai said in a low voice. Old monster? Lin Feng was a little surprised. That's right, a terrifying existence with unfathomable martial arts. He just released a wisp of breath at random, and it made my legs go weak, and I almost fell to my knees. It's more terrifying than the coercion you unleashed on me at the foot of the mountain before. I guess it's at least the existence of the Xiantian realm. This old monster has already auctioned off this item many times. This time when he came to Jinling City, the people at the headquarters specifically told me to treat me well. Don't offend me. Feng Hai said a lot of words in a row. After speaking, he couldn't help wiping the sweat from his forehead. Because even talking about the old man in black now, he feels a little panicked. Really too strong. He has never seen such a powerful existence. I'm a majestic master of the third level of the Hotian realm, and I am like an ant in front of him. What do you mean by auctioning many times? Lin Feng caught the key point. This? Feng Hai was a little embarrassed. He seemed unwilling to say this, but thinking of his illness, he still said, Actually, no matter who bought the cloth scroll, the old monster would go find it himself. The purpose is to know the use of the cloth scroll. There were several people from martial arts families who bought it before, but they were all wiped out in the end. Speaking of this, Feng Hai said gloatingly, So, young Master Lin, it's lucky that you didn't buy it just now. Otherwise, you would be the one who was unlucky. The Jiang family is going to be miserable now. Lin Feng was about to speak, but suddenly thought of something, stood up immediately, and asked in a deep voice. So, that old monster is now chasing Jiang Junlin? Probably. Feng Hai nodded. Lin Feng's expression changed suddenly when he heard the words, and he rushed out immediately without saying a word. It doesn't matter whether Jiang Junlin is dead or not. The key point is that Inuo and Qin Qinshu came all the way with Jiang Junlin. If that old monster lays his hands on any... Thinking of this, Lin Feng felt cold all over. Hey, young Master Lin. Thank you at the door. You haven't healed me yet. Feng Hai's expression also changed, and he hurriedly chased after him. But where is the shadow of Lin Feng? Time rewinds to 10 minutes ago. On a country road at the foot of the mountain, a Mercedes-Benz GLS 450 is driving like flying. Jiang Junlin, why are you driving so fast? Chen Qinshu frowned. This country road with a speed limit of 40, Jiang Junlin actually drove to dash. This is really a bit too fast. Even if there's a car accident, he is fine, but my sister is not. My sister is just an ordinary person. She can't bear too much impact. That Lin Feng is not a good guy. Of course I have to avoid him. Jiang Junlin firmly controlled the steering wheel and said calmly, if that's the case, why do you still bid with him? Aren't you insane? Chen Qinshu felt that Jiang Junlin was really stupid. I'm mentally retarded? Jiang Junlin sneered and stopped answering. He knew that something was wrong with his mood now, but it didn't matter anymore. Seeing this, Chen Qinshu wanted to say something else. But at this moment, he found an old man in black appeared in the middle of the road ahead, and he couldn't help saying, be careful, there are people ahead. What does someone care about me? I don't sleep at night. I run to this kind of place and stand in the middle of the road. I deserve to be killed by me. Jiang Junlin replied in a cold voice, stepped on the accelerator, and slammed into it. This moment, the speed reached almost 200 kilometers per hour. The huge wind resistance made the car windows rattle. The old man in black thought that the car would stop when he was standing in the middle of the road, but he didn't expect that the other party would not only stop, but speed up and bump into him. This surprised him a little. Interesting. I like this kind of vicious young man. It's exactly the same as when I was young. The corners of the black-clothed old man's mouth curled up slightly. Faced with the car hitting at a speed of 200 hours, he actually stood there motionless, and when the car was about to arrive, he stretched out his right hand unhurriedly. What's the situation? Seeing this scene, the pupils of Jiang Junlin, Chen Yinhua, and Chen Qinshu in the car shrank slightly. Is this old man dying? Next moment, boom! The front of the Mercedes-Benz collided with the old man's right hand, making a loud noise. Subsequently, in a burst of violent squeezing sound, the three felt that the car had hit an iron pillar. The entire front of the car was squeezed by the naked eye, and the front cover and engine were crushed into a mass of fragments. And under such a huge inertia, even with Chen Qinshu protecting her, Chen Yinhua still slammed into the seat in the front row. Her forehead was instantly bright red, and blood flowed all over her face, which looked shocking. Younger sister, Chen Qinshu was terrified, and hurriedly helped Chen Yinhua stop the bleeding. Chen Yinhua's expression was pale, and he felt that his internal organs were rolling, and his throat became even more fishy, and he couldn't help spitting out a mouthful of blood. At this time, boom! The old man in black actually lifted the dilapidated Mercedes-Benz. The nearly 3-ton Mercedes-Benz is like a toy in his hands. Jijia? Is it fun? Kids? The old man in black smiled strangely. His face like dry bark was full of playfulness. See this scene. Jiang Junlin immediately opened the car door and jumped out first. Chen Qinshu hugged her younger sister and followed closely behind. The three of them looked at the old man in black together, with expressions of surprise and uncertainty. So strong, blocking a large off-road vehicle with a speed of 200 hours and a weight of nearly 3 tons with one hand. This level of strength is really terrifying, Chen Qinshu asked himself. Maybe he could do it, but it was absolutely impossible to be as relaxed as this old man in black, without even moving a muscle. Who are you? Why are you stopping us here in the middle of the night? Jiang Junlin asked in a deep voice. Young man, you have a vicious heart. You actually thought of hitting me to death. The old man in black stared straight at Jiang Junlin with a pair of eyes, and his vicissitudes of eyes revealed a strange luster under the dim moonlight. Misunderstanding, I was looking at my phone just now and didn't notice you. A smile appeared on Jiang Junlin's face. The strength of this old man in black is unfathomable, completely impenetrable. If he had known that the old man was so strong, he would never have done such a stupid thing just now. It's a pity that it's too late to say this now. You're playing with your phone while stepping on the gas pedal, right? Fortunately, old man, I'm strong and strong. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been smashed by you. The old man in black threw the car he was holding lightly, and it was thrown tens of meters. Boom! The car hit a boulder and immediately exploded, burning with flames. See this scene? Jiang Junlin, Chen Qinshu, and Chen Yinua's expressions changed slightly, and their hearts suddenly became tense. I can give you an apology. Jiang Junlin tried his best to keep calm and said with a smile, "Apologize? What a familiar word. Oh, I just remembered that someone told me the same thing last time, and now I have killed his whole family, even the 2 dogs at home." The old man in black said something sullenly. Words fall. He took a step forward and arrived in front of Jiang Junlin in an instant. He stretched out a big hand and grabbed Jiang Junlin. "Jie, come here, baby. You." Jiang Junlin's pupils shrank slightly, and he attacked without hesitation, but was easily blocked by the old man in black. Squeak! The old man in black picked up Jiang Junlin. "You, what do you want to do?" Jiang Junlin's heart was overwhelmed. "I am a strong man in the early stage of the realm, and I have no power to fight back in front of this old man." The old man in black didn't reply. Instead, he licked his tongue strangely, stretched out a withered hand, and groped Jiang Junlin's body for a while. Jiang Junlin's body softened for a while. Reminiscent of the old man's sentence, "Little baby, just now, I just feel them all over." He immediately turned his head to look at Chen Qinshu and shouted for help. "Brother Qinshu, this person's strength is unfathomable. Why don't you hurry up?" Chen Qinshu frowned upon hearing this. Indecision. He thought that even if he joined forces with Jiang Junlin, he would not necessarily be the opponent of the old man in black. "Brother, no, don't go there." Chen Yinua gently pulled Chen Qinshu's clothes and said weakly. Although the blood on her forehead had stopped, her whole body was in a very weak state, as if she would faint at any time. "See my sister like this." Chen Qinshu only felt that his heart was bleeding. He never imagined that with himself guarding him, he could hurt his sister like this. At this time, the old man in black found the torn cloth scroll on Jiang Junlin's body and said eagerly, "Say, what is this thing?" Jiang Junlin glanced at the torn cloth scroll and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It turned out to be touching this. "Almost scared me to death. Senior, it turns out that you stopped us because of this cloth scroll. You should have said it earlier. Stop talking nonsense. I'll ask you, you answer honestly. Otherwise, the old man has 10,000 ways to torture you." The old man in black sneered. "I don't know, I bought this thing in an auction to play with." A smile appeared on Jiang Junlin's face. "Buy it to play? Do you think I'm a fool? I saw everything that happened at the auction just now. You clearly said that this thing is a treasure, and you still satirize others for not knowing what it is. Are you pretending to be garlic with me now? Say it quickly. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude." The old man in black sneered and increased his strength with his right hand. "Senior, lighten up, lighten up. Don't pinch like this." Jiang Junlin suddenly gasped in pain, feeling that the flesh on his chest was about to be pinched off. He panicked and explained, "I really don't know what this thing is. At that time, I just bought it for fun. I don't know anything. Bought to play." The expression of the old man in black instantly darkened. Snapped. He slapped Jiang Junlin's face fiercely, making Jiang Junlin's face swollen, and a line of blood spilled from the corner of his mouth. The old man was excited for a long time. "And now you tell me that you bought it for fun? Me?" Jiang Junlin's voice trembled, frightened, but also a little confused. He still doesn't know what he did wrong. "I have money to buy a rag to play with. Can it? Who the hell did I provoke me? I'll ask you again for the last time. Do you really know what this thing does?" The vicissitudes of the eyes of the old man in black were full of killing intent. Jiang Junlin felt cold all over. He knew that if he dared to answer that he didn't know, the old man in front of him would definitely kill him. "Me?" Jiang Junlin's voice trembled. Suddenly, he seemed to think of something, as if grabbing a life-saving straw. He said loudly, "Lin Feng knows. Lin Feng must know what this thing is for." "Who is Lin Feng?" the old man in black asked coldly. "Lin Feng is the one who bid with me before. Senior, I was the first to rush out. Lin Feng must not have gone far. I can take you to find him." Jiang Junlin forced a smile on his face, but his heart became active. This old man is very powerful. If he can use his strength to kill Lin Feng. Hearing this, The old man in black narrowed his eyes slightly, not knowing what he was thinking. At this time, Chinhua suddenly said weakly, "Jiang Junlin, don't talk nonsense. How could Lin Feng know the function of this thing? Don't try to harm Lin Feng." Jiang Junlin's complexion changed suddenly when he heard the words, and he screamed, "Bitch, you would rather have me die than Lin Feng? Jiang Junlin, how dare you scold my sister? Do you want to die?" Chen Qinshu looked cold. "Isn't what I said the truth? Don't think that your Chen family is very powerful. It really pissed me off. Don't blame me for being shameless. There is also Xiao Lianlian's illness. Do you want to be cured? If you want to be cured, don't talk nonsense with me." Jiang Junlin sneered. "The matter has come to this point. Anyway, it is all torn. Just survive. As long as Lin Feng can be killed by the old man in black, he doesn't care about anything. Are you sure this Lin Feng knows?" The old man in black said suddenly, "I'm sure. He must know. Otherwise, he would never be the first to bid." Jiang Junlin was full of promises. "Then I will trust you for now. But if you dare to lie to me, I will make your life worse than death." The old man in black said sadly, "Senior, don't worry." Jiang Junlin gave a dry laugh. The old man in black nodded in satisfaction. Then he shifted his gloomy gaze to Chen Qinshu and Chen Inua and said with a sneer, "Before looking for Lin Feng, let me send these two people on the road first. Senior, I am a member of the Yunchuan Chen family." Chen Qinshu's expression changed suddenly, and he hurriedly reported his family name, hoping that the other party would have some scruples. "The Chen family? Who are you, Chen Beixian?" The old man in black asked with interest. "Chen Beixian is the grandfather of the younger generation." Chen Qinshu replied respectfully, but her heart was overwhelmed. This person actually knew his grandfather. To know, my grandfather, Chen Beixian, is a super strong man of the 8th level. He is an absolute powerhouse in the entire martial arts world of Yunchuan. It is precisely because of the existence of Grandpa that the Chen family can stand in Yunchuan for hundreds of years. Then do you know that even if your grandfather Chen Beixian is here, he can't stop me from killing you?" The old man in black sneered. Words fall. With killing intent on his face, he directly swung his palm at Chen Inua and Chen Qinshu. Buzz! A stream of air visible to the naked eye burst out from his palm. The air current formed a looming white dragon in midair, which was extremely terrifying. Transformation of internal force. Innate realm power. Chen Qinshu's pupils shrunk, his expression horrified. He didn't have time to think about it, and immediately protected his sister behind him, gathered his inner strength in his right palm, and blasted fiercely at the blasting airflow. Cloud dispelling palm. Boom! A loud bang. It's almost devastated. Even though Chen Qinshu used the Chen family's top martial art Paiyin palm, he still didn't have the slightest resistance. The whole person flew out like a kite with a broken string and slammed heavily on a big tree by the side of the road. His right fist was bloody, and he didn't know how many bones were broken in his body. See this scene. Jiang Junlin felt cold all over. Chen Qinshu, who is at the pinnacle of the situation, is not the enemy of the old man in black. He didn't even feel that the old man in black was using all his strength. I guess it was just a slap in the face. Too strong. Really too strong. This is the legendary Xiantian realm? Thinking of this, Jiang Junlin was both scared and excited. What I'm afraid of is that the old man is too strong, and I can't control it at all. What is exciting is that as long as he brings the old man in front of Lin Feng later, Lin Feng will definitely die, just like a chicken being easily pinched to death by the old man. Chen Qinshu struggled several times to get up, but failed. In the end, a large mouthful of blood spewed out from his mouth, staining the clothes on his chest red. "Elder brother!" Chen Inua struggled to get up and staggered up. The delicate, pretty face burst into tears, and the wound on her forehead that could not be stopped burst open again. Blood and tears were mixed together, looking very pitiful. She was scared to death. The brother who was as powerful as he remembered would be beaten like this at this moment. "Whoa! Brother, are you okay? Don't scare me." Chen Inua cried pear blossoms with rain. "Don't cry. Brother is fine. Chun Shinshu wanted to squeeze out a smile, but couldn't hold back a mouthful of blood. Whoa, brother, you stop talking? Chun Inwa picked up his sleeve and hurriedly wiped the blood off his brother's face, but found that his hands were shaking all the time. That blood kept flowing, a direct current. I can't finish it. She turned her head suddenly, turned her begging eyes to the old man in black, and begged bitterly. Senior, we were wrong. Please save my brother, please. Seeing the old man in black, he didn't speak. She looked at Jiang Junlin again and said in a trembling voice, Jiang Junlin, I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Please save my brother. I don't want my brother to die. Jiang Junlin's complexion changed slightly when he heard the words. Unexpectedly, Chun Inua wanted to drag himself into the water and immediately shouted sharply, Bitch, now you know how to find me? Go to Lin Feng long before you. I will draw a clear line with you. Sister, no? Don't ask them any more. Chun Shinshu said weakly. He felt that his life was passing by quickly. The blood in his body was flowing nonstop, and his bones were all broken. It was all due to his willpower that he could survive until now. Brother, woo woo woo. Chun Il hugged his brother helplessly. His eyes were desperate. His mind went blank, and his body was shaking nonstop because of fear. Hey, what a pair of brothers and sisters who love each other very much. The old man was moved by watching this. If that's the case, I'll send you two to go on the road together. The old man in black sighed pretentiously. Then his eyes turned cold, and he slapped away again. Buzz! The air current formed an illusory white dragon in midair and shot towards the siblings. Look at that posture. If they were hit by the bombardment, the brothers and sisters would definitely be smashed to pieces. However, at this time, Chong! Suddenly, the sound of swords exploded in the field. Then, a bright white light from the eastern sky. It flew towards it at an unimaginable speed and finally smashed fiercely on that illusory white dragon. Boom! The phantom of the white dragon disappeared in an instant, but the white light didn't stop and finally hit the ground fiercely. Boom! 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 With the land where the white light collided as the center point, countless cracks spread rapidly to the surroundings. The crack extended tens of meters and was 10 centimeters wide. The earth trembled even more, as if an earthquake had occurred. This sudden scene shocked everyone present. When they come to their senses, the center point of that white light, suddenly a 3-foot-long sword appeared. The long sword was stuck on the ground, buzzing, as if in anger,